Yeah.
That's a
And
thing
then
that
they
people
fall.
do.
Yeah. Breathe in the vagina out of your butthole, and when they say breathe out of the butthole, there's fart noises.
Oh, that's
Fucking
so funny.
yeah.
I mean,
Fucking hilarious,
you
dude.
would never have expected fart noises when someone was told to breathe out of their butthole. It's just fucking
Yeah.
Jesus
Dude,
Christ. That's just. Are they even
dude,
trying,
it's
or are they
fucking
just
horrible.
fucking like?
Yeah.
Are they
Yeah. It's like she's
intentionally
doing
trying to
parrot.
insult us?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure what's
fucking
going
like.
on. Like,
Are they
I almost want to give
intentionally
her
trying to insult us?
credit for like being deliberately bad or
Yeah, I'm not
something,
sure what's
but
going.
I don't think that's the case. I think she's just
Wow.
insanely lazy and not particularly funny when Jeselnik's not writing her jokes for her.
Good lord. I, how does anybody like I just don't. Somebody saw her stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they were foreign and they were trying to make a movie as like a tax write off. Like we're gonna make a
Yeah,
movie, it's gonna fail. I met this lady and
yeah,
she
it
was just
must
fucking
fail.
terrible in person, so we're gonna use her to make the movie, and we're gonna definitely lose a bunch of money and be able to write this all off on our taxes.
That would not be surprising in the least.
Yeah.
Like, you need to do a terrible movie.
I mean, it'd be
I know
hard to
you can
make
do
it. It'd be hard for it to be anything other than terrible with Amy Schumer as the lead.
it.
I
Yeah, I assume
refuse
not
to
to.
believe in any way, shape, or form that movie could turn out in any way acceptable for, I mean, any human to actually watch intentionally.
Hmm. Yeah, no, like I said, it's literally a bunch of bodily functions jokes apparently all the way through.
Oh my god! You know what? They need the rest of the cast should all be Smosh people.
Fit right in there.
Oh, I mean, humorless people who aren't funny at all. Like they're only funny on accident. That's the thing that makes
Yeah.
Smosh entertaining to me. It's they're fucking terrible. But occasionally,
Mm-hmm.
just by accident, they're really funny, and it's like it's so funny because they don't get that that's funny. They're so
Mm-hmm.
unaware of what actual humor is. The best part is the try not to laugh, where they put water, like one person puts water in their mouth and sits on a stool, and the rest of them do improv, big quotations, improv, because just sort of wiggling around on stage and making noises isn't really like improv per se. It's just, I don't know, like what a 5-year-old would do if they were like trying to do the interpretive dance that they'd seen someone else do and didn't really understand what it was.
Oh
That
my
might be
god.
what they would do. But they try to do improv to make the person laugh. And so it's entertaining to watch the person pretend to struggle not to laugh, but then wait for the right moment to spit water intentionally, trying to make it look unintentional. Because, at a certain point, in order for this show to be entertaining on YouTube, they have to laugh, or it's not, like the other, I guess the audience won't know when it's supposed to be funny
Mm-hmm.
if they don't spit the water.
That is
So,
funny. Like
yeah,
instead of
it's
applause signs, they have to have laugh signs.
it's like the darkest, most fucked up shit. It's so funny to me because it's just like they've been doing this for years. What sort of fucking shriveled up, miserable black souls must reside in those fucking corpses that are dancing for our entertainment at this point? Like they clearly know they're not funny. Right?
Right.
Like everybody has to know.
Somebody trying.
And they're
Mm-hmm.
pretending, and they've been doing it for years. Like years and years. It's like, oh man, that's gotta be awful. Just
Yeah,
terrible.
there's so many of those fucking those people that got in early that are just like there
Yeah,
wasn't much
and
of
they're riding that
way
wave.
back.
I
Yeah.
applaud the intelligence of recognizing that this is how we make our money. We just got to keep pumping out the same shit, and people will keep paying us for it. Like that I applaud. I get it. Hey, that's your gravy train. Don't fucking run to the ground. Make that money. You fucking buying fast food went from, I don't know what, like 10 years ago you could, or not even 10 years ago, maybe like 6 or 7 years ago. Maybe even less, maybe 5. You could buy like a whole meal at a fast food place for like $5, $6, $7 if you got like the larger sizes of the drinks and the fries or whatever.
Right.
And now it's like $20 fucking. So however you can make that money, make that fucking money. I can respect that. Because, if I was in their position, I would 100% be doing that. Even if I knew, I'm like, man, I'm not remotely funny or skilled or talented at this at all, but people keep giving me money for it.
Yeah, I'm ashamed of what I'm doing, but people seem to watch it for some reason.
And I'm sure most of the people that are watching it are not watching it for, my sick and twisted reasoning. They're probably genuinely enjoying themselves. So, hey, you know what? People are happy. You're making money. All you have to do is just suffer through that silently.
Yeah, the bar is pretty loaded nowadays. That's for sure.
Oh, man. I couldn't imagine. I could not imagine how awful that would be.
Yeah, my son was telling me, how good the writing is, or the plot in that on Attack on Titan.
Oh, Attack on Titan. That's the one with the giant fucking things that just eat people for no reason.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what it is, but yeah, apparently.
I was not a fan of that.
Right. Yeah, I've only seen it very small snippets. But yeah, he was telling me how they apparently for most of the show they're doing it from the the regular people in the fortresses or whatever.
Yeah.
And then in the last season they do it from the other side's point of view, from the Titan point of view, or something.
How the fuck?
And then.
That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, so it was and then he's like at the end, you kind of realize, there's no good guys in this show.
Oh, there's no good guys in this show?
Yeah, that's kind of what his take from it was.
I have no idea. All I know is it's an obnoxious show about people that are dealing with these giant humans that are naked and trying to eat them for no discernible benefit.
Yeah, I assume in the last season he got reasoning. Probably not good. From what my son was describing, they probably have a reason, and it's probably not good. And it kind of turns out.
I'm sure it gets explained at some point or another where I'm sure. I'm not a fan of grisly horror shit. Like I don't get scared of horror stuff.
Right.
But I just don't want to gross guts and blood all the time, because a lot of times when I make that kind of stuff, all the other intelligent writing goes out the window, right? Because the only thing you need to make suspense is to kill another character, or bring another character in that you're going to kill off later.
Yeah, so it's kind of crazy how that for him. Because for the entire time he's been aware at all, writing and everything has been so fucking god awful.
Oh, that's
that passed for.
I have no idea if it's good or not. It could be. I've never seen the whole thing, so I certainly can't say.
Yeah, it sounded interesting enough,
I mean, that's an interesting concept where it comes out that there's no good guys at the end. That's pretty unusual.
Right. And then I told him to watch Identity.
I don't think I've
we were talking about. Well, we were talking about how it was so easy to fucking what do you call it? tell what's going to happen in a movie.
Oh
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like, it's so fucking easy. And that was one of the movies where I was watching it. Well, it happened with my ex and her kids all the fucking time, where they're like, "Have you seen this?" You know, when I turned out to be right, and I'm like, "No, but it's fucking obvious."
Yeah, like
You
how
know?
did you not know
And
that
that one,
was
I was,
coming?
yeah, and that one, I was watching it with a couple friend of mine. Identity does it a little better. Um, but yeah, I mean, if you're paying attention, because there's like, why is this in there? Like, it's one of those things. You're like, why is this in here at all? Like, what this has seems to have nothing to do with the rest of the movie. And
Yeah.
then like it dawned on me, and I told them, I'm like, I think, I kind of told them I thought it was going on, and that turned out to be the case. Yeah, although it's still a good watch. I still really like that movie, dude. So yeah, if you would get a chance to watch Identity, yeah, it's a really good movie actually,
Yeah.
despite being able to figure out the ending. But yeah, I told my son to watch that and see if he can figure it out. Although the hint I gave, he probably will, even though it was
Yeah.
vague.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I watched an anime movie yesterday with the movie group because one of the other people suggested it, and I'm like, hey, sure, why not? Let's throw it up. Let's put the movie
Mm-hmm.
on. And because the last thing I want to do is make people feel like they can't choose movies for the movie group. Like it shouldn't just be up to me every time. I just don't do
Right, right.
like I don't do the other guy used to do. I'm gonna put up like 4 different options and everybody votes. And then, like, if people's one doesn't win, they don't go, and it's just like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
No, there's one movie, and that's what we're watching. If somebody wants to make a suggestion, I'll throw it up the next week if I can, or I'll work my way through the suggestions. I'm
Mm-hmm.
happy to do that as well. So then everybody can just put in whatever they want to watch. But it was an anime movie. It was actually pretty interesting. It was like sort of a Being John Malkovich kind of thing where a teenage girl in like the boonies of Japan and a teenage boy in the big city of Tokyo. Uh, every so often, when they would sleep, they would wake up in the other person's body for a day,
Hmm.
and then they would go through it. And then like you're just sitting there going like, well, that's interesting, like all the wackiness and fun and what the fuck is going on. And then you find out there's a 3-year difference between when it's happening. So everything that's happening to the girl is happening 3 years before anything happens to the boy. But it's concurrent, so
Yeah.
it's like she's 3 years in the past. And then you find out her city or her town was destroyed by like a fucking asteroid, or I guess it's a meteorite at that point. Um,
Right, right.
Meteorite when it falls there, like it broke off of a meteor and and broke down and blew up her town. And so the whole point was like he was supposed to be going back to help her survive and like save her little town of people and everything. It was pretty fucking wacky. It was very
Right.
unexpected because it seemed very normal right up until like the last 20 minutes, and it was like bonkers and really great. And it's like that's why I watch a lot of anime and anime movies. Like that Attack on Titan, that could be great. I don't know. I've only seen a couple of the
Right.
first episodes, and I just didn't care for the gore.
Yeah, yeah. I
But
couldn't
in
get
my
into it,
experience,
dude.
anime is pretty fucking stellar when it comes to not giving you an easy prediction what's going on, unless you're specifically looking for something like that in a specific genre.
Right, right.
So like you will know
Yeah.
the movies and the shows that are going to be very repetitive in the way that the stories are told, and you can seek that out if that's what you want. And you can find all the wacky shit you're never going to know what's going to come, and watch that instead if that's what you're looking for. So it's kind of fun.
Yeah. I told my son he hadn't watched Akira. Like he said he was getting into anime. Have you seen Akira then, right? He's like, no. And I'm like, you need to watch Akira.
Yeah.
Like that's mandatory. Kind of mandatory.
Akira, Ghost in the Shell are two probably like ones that everybody should check out.
Yeah, I told him Princess Mononoke is a good one. Is again, I always go back and forth on whether it counts as
Oh,
anime because
any of the Studio Ghibli films are good.
But yeah, I was like, I have it. I'm like, I have the DVD if you want to watch it.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I don't have a player. So I'm like, yeah, but anyways, yeah, watch Akira. Princess Mononoke is pretty good. Ninja Scroll, I like that one. And that's about all I know about anime.
Yeah. Yeah, there's like certain ones that are like classics that everybody kind of like, is supposed to watch, which is like, you got Akira's one of them, Ghost in the Shell, you got Evangelion. Um,
Mm,
I think Kiki's Delivery Service is one that a lot of people are into. And then like
mm,
all of the Studio Ghibli films.
yeah.
Like that's the Princess Mononoke. They got like I don't know, like 5 or 6 other fucking movies, like My Friend Totoro and
Mm,
Howl's Moving Castle and The Boy and the Heron. There's just a bunch of fucking movies from that studio that are just top notch. Um,
nice.
and then I always like Nausicaa Valley of the Winds because it's kind of a crossover American anime kind of thing, where there was a lot of
Oh,
people from the U.S. that did the voice acting, and the whole movie is about like nuclear, like the aftermath of nuclear holocaust, like long after the society that did the nuclear holocaust has just disappeared in the sands of time, and like these new
right.
societies have been built up and are trying to legally survive and struggle to make it through this like wasteland where all this like there's pockets of places where you can survive that are not like nuclear and radioactive and
Yeah.
dangerous and poisonous, and then there's a whole lot of areas that are just toxic and dangerous and fucking all the bugs and animals are all mutated to fucking hell and giant monsters and shit. It's pretty fucking
Yeah.
fun.
Mm.
But it's
That
also
sounds
got
like Fallout.
voicing from a lot of like American stars from the 80s, so it was kind of like, all right, I
Mm.
guess fucking, those people were involved.
Yeah, that's why I was always wondered if Princess Mononoke counted because it was all American actors like Billy Crudup and fucking
Yeah.
Billy Bob Thornton and fucking yeah,
Well,
all American
it's
ones.
one of those things where the
Yeah.
American English dub is actually better than just watching it with subtitles.
Mm,
Um,
right.
one of the unfortunate realities of the anime is the English dubs where it's like dubbed into English language, so you don't have to read subtitles. The voice
Right.
acting for
Right.
most of that in most animes is just terrible, just awful.
Right.
And so it's almost always better to watch like the original voice acting, but just read the subtitles because it's so much better. So the American
Gotcha.
crossovers, like Ghost in the Shell is one, and has Akira got voice actors from America? Princess Mononoke, obviously.
I don't know about Akira. I'm not sure.
But when they actually hire like talented actors from here to do the voices, it's great because it's like, oh yeah, they actually have like emotion in it, and they're like really playing the part as opposed to somebody who's just
Just
like,
robotically
I'm one
reading
of
it
like
off.
6 people they're gonna always bring back no matter what happens, so I'm just gonna do whatever, you know.
Yeah, I wonder if that's why the was it Funimation? Is that the one that Vic Mignogna was part of? Like, I wonder if
Yeah,
that's why
yeah, he's
everyone
one of
else
those
hated
people
that
who's like,
guy.
he's gonna be back no matter what. Everybody really liked his work, but it's like, at the same time, he could pretty
Well, I'm
much do whatever
wondering.
the fucking.
Yeah, I'm wondering if like he was like halfway decent at it, and the rest of them all sucked, and that's why they didn't like him.
Could be.
You know,
It's
all the
like,
people
oh,
that
he actually
fucking
gets compliments because he does a good job versus the shit we do.
yeah, yeah. I have no idea, but I'm wondering if that's part of it at least.
Oh
Mm,
yeah,
yeah, I have no idea though, but sounds good.
oh yeah. I didn't watch
Good
the
theory.
latest Destiny thing that you sent because I wanted to catch up on It's a Gundam's like fringe podcast thing, and I was
Oh
like,
yeah,
and I
that's
want
one.
to break from like the dumb drama shit because it is kind of dumb, like at a certain point, it's like, all right.
Yeah, it's ridiculous,
And,
man.
and it gets
It's
kind of
getting like
repetitive
for
after a
real.
while. It's like, all right, Destiny's the fucking crashing out and acting like a lunatic. Well, I mean that's
Mm.
par for the
Yeah,
course for Destiny, so it's not really something new. like,
no, well, no, the way he's handling it is very different than he's handled anything in the past. He doesn't normally crash out like this. He
oh,
normally
maybe it's
just
because
ignores
some of the people are actually pushing criminal charges.
Yeah, yeah. No, normally he'll like address it once in some bullshit, disingenuous, dishonest way, and then fucking just never mention it again. But this one, he's just constantly going at it and fucking talking about how he's not going to talk about it anymore because it's in court, and then doing live streams day after day after day talking about it.
Oh, I bet you court's not going the way he wants.
Yeah, yeah,
Because from
yeah. So
his
it's
response
interesting.
on the one, it seemed like he genuinely thought he had some sort of defamation thing. Like he was going to be able to play this
Yeah.
game of like, well, she's just a slut, so fuck her. She's just
Mm,
trying to, she's just trying to steal my money and all this other shit.
dude.
And it
Did
turns out
you?
it's like, oh no, the video she sent, she did have consent. Oh no, none of what he's saying is actually legal in any respect. You know, like,
Mm, yeah. Did you watch or did you hear the one where the guy called into the dude's stream? The Destiny fucking retard called into the stream.
oh god.
Um. Oh, you didn't hear? You haven't heard that
I'm
yet?
pretty sure I think I know what you're talking about. Like, where he just eventually just gave up and like left.
Well, he can't. His first thing, he's like, "Yeah, no, I came in here to gloat." I'm like, "You guys took us." He's like, "I took you guys, took a swing at the king and you missed." And then, like during the whole rest of it, he just sounded like an absolute fucking moron.
Well, you're
And like
defending
just
Destiny. It's really hard not to sound like a
yeah,
moron.
yeah,
Like,
it's exactly what you'd expect. It's fucking brain dead fucking morons
yeah.
who think
Oh,
they
and a lot of
somehow
the stuff
got.
they'll say is just stuff where it's like it's unhinged. It's like it makes no sense.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like
it's fucking
what you're
nuts,
saying
dude.
is not only false, but like doesn't even make sense.
Doesn't make
Like
any sense.
how, yeah,
Yeah,
like how are
yeah,
you?
yeah.
How does this work
Yeah,
in
like
your
the fact
brain?
that
Because there's definitely no logic involved here.
yeah, like the part about how she had sent him stuff before, but like even in the
Yeah, like this
messages,
implied consent thing. It's like, do you not understand that implied consent is in a
dude.
physical context?
Yeah.
It's when
Oh god.
the you and the chick go back to fucking your place or her place after you like hook up at a bar or a club, and she starts taking your
Yeah.
pants off and sucking your dick, and you're playing with her titties, and then you're eating her pussy, and nobody goes and stops in the middle and goes, "Oh my god, is it okay if we have sex?" Because that's really
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
not gonna make the mood. It's gonna kill the fucking mood. Like stop in the middle of
Yeah.
foreplay and
Yeah.
be
It's
like,
fucking.
"Oh yeah, can we have sex?" No, it's an implied consent because you're both very clearly
Yeah.
giving the implication physically that you want to do this. And like, it's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
applied
And
to
here's the
like
thing.
random like fucking like, well, she sent me a video, so I should be able to send her a video to anyone I want. That's implied consent. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean?
Yeah. No, and here's the fucking crazy, the weirdest shit about part about that shit is, okay, this is what you came up with like 3 weeks later. But back when you thought it was just going to be the same old shit that was just going to pass in like a day or maybe a week or whatever, you said things like, "Yeah, I violated her consent, her trust in the worst possible way,"
Oh yeah,
and other shit where he's fucking admitting to it.
Mind-boggling how
So we're
he's
like,
giving
okay,
like actual like confessions.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that was in DMs between like him and
Oh, but dude, he's
whoever.
even on camera at
Yeah.
one point openly admitting to sexually assaulting someone on a stream.
Yeah, well, there's evidence. Yeah, that streams, that shit's still available, so it'd be hard to. Well, he could still deny it. His fans aren't going to check.
Well, but I mean, like, it's
So I
not
guess-
even like I'm not even talking about whether he denies it or not. I'm just saying, like, how does that work in someone's head?
Yeah, and what really blew my mind about the guy calling in to the stream that was doing the whole "I'm here to gloat" thing, he had not even heard that. He was unaware that DM existed.
What an idiot!
Yeah, I'm like,
Just,
you
wow,
don't,
dude,
you
what a
don't check
fucking
out
moron.
any of this. I mean, it's not surprising actually. It is and it isn't, because the only way you could stick by him is if you're just not bothering to check anything other than what Destiny tells you. Yeah. I'm like, how? That's the main fucking thing. That's the main, most damning piece of evidence out there, and you were unaware of it. I'm like, that's fucking amazing, dude.
Oh, it's flabbergasting in a lot of these things where it's just like I don't.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
get
the
how
fact that they're like,
anybody-
"Oh, she's done it too." She sent stuff too, and then like in the messages, she's like, "Yeah, I gotta wait for my boyfriend to wake up before I can send it," which could be interpreted different ways. But it seems like she doesn't have it, and it's on his phone or whatever, on her boyfriend's phone, and also she probably got consent from him when she asked for it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's not definite, but
Well,
that is.
and the whole thing of
that's
the
not the
whole thing
most
of her
likely
sleeping
scenario.
with Destiny, though. Hold on a second, just real quick. That was her boyfriend's
Yeah, yeah.
idea, right? Like he was like, "You're not very good at sex. You need to go fuck random people." Like it was the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Yeah, yeah.
But like
Yeah,
that was the
it's fucking
justification for it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So fucking yeah. Like again, the most likely scenario is that he knew about it and was okay with it. But they're going with that. Like that. See, we don't know if he had consent, and the greatest thing about all that is it doesn't fucking matter as far as Destiny's legal case. It doesn't matter really at all.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Whether
like
they had
that guy,
consent or not is just totally immaterial.
Yeah, yeah. It wasn't. It's got nothing to do with Destiny. It's between her and their ex-boyfriend at this point.
Yeah.
You know, if something like that did happen.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
No.
maybe
That would be between her and the ex-boyfriend, whether or not he was concerned about that. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. It has nothing to do with
Destiny, and it doesn't imply any form of consent to Destiny. Like that's just not.
Yeah.
That doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah.
Like that's just not even how that implication would work. But
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That whole
Yeah,
thing
and again,
was just
there's multiple.
crazy, man.
Yeah, no, you know he's been doing this to fucking plenty of girls. You know what I mean? There's no way there aren't.
The I'm sorry, but there's no way of looking at it in any other way. Where he recorded the guy without his knowledge.
Yeah, yeah. Again, it's technically possible that the guy knew about it, but it's so fucking unlikely that the reason that he recorded it in his pocket the whole time is because he wasn't letting the guy know he was doing it. Like that's 99.9999 fucking whatever
possible reason could you have?
Yeah, that was another one. Yeah, and that same thing. He was like, "Well, we don't know what their arrangement was." And I'm like, "Technically true, but common sense would tell you, almost certainly, it's because he didn't bother telling."
Yeah, there's no question at all.
Yeah,
that
otherwise,
is such a
would
wacky
you not?
concept, though. Like just like that these people are like, "Oh yeah, no, Destiny said it, so it must be true, man." Like, I'm totally just gonna go with that. And it's like, what are you on? Like, what kind of fucking drugs are you taking, bro?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he knew about it, but I wanted to make sure. We both agreed. We wanted to have be the shittiest audio possible. So I kept it in my pocket. Like, dude, that's so insane. That's such a fucking, again, insanely unlikely scenario, dude. But they're like, no, we don't know. Like, they're counting on that. Technically, it's possible bullshit, dude. Yeah, it's amazing, the cognitive dissonance of that fucking dude. But you would have to.
Destiny's going to lose this fucking lawsuit. I don't understand why he's even fighting it. That's really stupid.
Dude, he really should have offered that bitch like $1 million and just to be done with it. Because it's going to end up costing him a hell of a lot.
Oh, well, not even, I mean, it's going to cost him more than money at this point. Like, it's definitely his reputation, finally.
Yeah.
You know,
his dreams of his dreams of going mainstream, because that was one of his, like, he wanted to start his own, like, news network kind of shit. Or being part of the mainstream media kind of shit, and that's completely out the fucking window. Or being part of the Democratic, you know, like a big player in the DNC or whatever.
Yeah, Yeah, I don't know, man. He's definitely he's not going for Joe Rogan of the left at this point.
Yeah.
Didn't Joe Rogan have like a little bit of controversy where it turned out he was like cheating on his wife pretty prolifically with like random waiters and waitresses and shit?
I don't know like the specifics of who he was fucking, but
I just
know
remember
like
vaguely hearing about that. But it was such a thing where it was like he basically was just like, yeah, I fucked up, and then was done, and then nobody gave a shit anymore.
Yeah, I mean, who didn't think Rogan was fucking cheating on his woman? I would actually be surprised if they didn't have that arrangement.
It
doesn't really matter.
I
Yeah,
don't fucking
yeah,
care
if
that
you're doing that.
if Destiny cheats on his wife or his girlfriend or how many people he fucks. It does become a weird issue when you
Yeah,
actually start committing felonious acts. That's when it
yeah,
starts to
yeah,
become a problem. It's like, oh yeah, but you
hmm
committed a felony while you did it. You like released somebody's
yeah,
pornography without their permission. That's pretty fucking not okay. You know, like
yeah. It's definitely a big difference. But yeah, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if Rogan didn't have that. Why would you be in a relationship being famous like that? Like, you'd almost want to tell the woman, like, look, I'm going to fuck a lot of other women, but it's got nothing to do with love, and it's nothing against you. Like, you have to be okay with that to be in this relationship.
be like,
Um,
I'm not gonna lock it down if you can't handle like me messing around on the side a little bit here and there. You know,
yeah,
I
yeah,
guess, I mean, me personally, I don't think I would be married at all.
yeah,
But
yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
it's
Yeah, but if
certainly
you're going to be in a
if I was
relationship,
married, it wouldn't be like
yeah, no,
it
I
would be
wouldn't be
it would
married.
have to be
Oh,
because of
husband.
some sort of actual love.
Mhm.
Like I'd have to be blinded by some sort of like thinking I'm like totally in love with this person or something.
Right. Yeah, it's an interesting. Yeah, I mean, there's probably some women that can handle that. Probably a vast majority of them can't.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I would have to be in a relationship where I genuinely thought I was in love, and if I thought that was the case, I wouldn't probably want to cheat on that person.
Yeah, yeah, but that's the way like you and I think. You
Yeah,
know, I mean, I never
but
cheated on
like
my
the
ex,
reality is like,
even when
that's not
my
likely
ex
to
didn't deserve,
happen. You
didn't
might as
really.
well just get the permission.
Mm, right. Yeah, like I said, my ex didn't exactly earn my fucking, me not cheating, but I still didn't fucking cheat on her.
Well, and the thing is,
Um,
it's so funny. Is like guys think it's this noble thing, but it's like chicks cheat on dudes all the time, like emotionally, constantly.
yeah, yeah,
What
yeah,
was there was a
especially
thing I
nowadays.
was watching. It was like they were doing like the Reddit reading stories, and this guy went out on a date with this chick. He'd been gone out there like several times before. They've been going out for about 4 weeks or so, and he's thinking, oh, everything's going great. You know, we're really compatible and all this other shit. And then it turns out they're on a date, and she's like, hey, I need you to drop me off at my best friend's house. We're going to watch a movie now that we're done with our date. And, oh yeah, no worries, but like he and I are really, really good friends, and we do this thing where we watch movies and we just like make out all the time.
What the fuck, dude?
And it's like, and
Wow.
everybody missed what was going on there. They're like, oh, well, you know, she's probably not a reliable person. You should probably find somebody else, which makes sense, right? But it's like, no.
Right.
She's a bigger, better deal, bitch. Sort of like men with
Yeah.
trophy husbands, where it's like, oh yeah, the second she hits 35, I gotta get rid of her and get the next model, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same
Yeah.
thing. She's
Trade her in
always
for
going to
the
be
model.
looking for that bigger, better deal. And that wasn't
Mm-hmm.
her best friend. That was some guy she probably told she was dating, who
Yeah.
had no
Yeah.
idea she was going out and dating other people, most likely. I mean, obviously, I don't know
Yeah.
for 100%, but
Oh yeah, no, she was. Yeah, when she got dropped off, if the guy she was getting, whose house she was getting dropped off at, asked about the dude dropping her off,
no, the guy,
she
the guy,
probably gave a similar story.
the guy he was dropping her off had no idea this was even going on.
Mm-hmm.
He was dropping her off at this guy's place. That guy had no idea that there was even a date. As far as I mean, at least it was never.
Oh yeah, no, I'm talking about the other guy.
Oh yeah.
Like if the other guy saw it, she probably gave that guy a similar story. Oh no, he's just a friend. We do this.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, the other guy she was dropping her off at. I'm just like, you fucking audacity.
Yeah, the making out
like,
part is odd.
You're on a date with somebody and you want them to drop you off at a date with another person.
Yeah, that's
like,
pretty fucking gross.
What? Like, I understand that people don't necessarily date exclusively.
Yeah,
like I totally get that. That there's people that
it is a little weird nowadays.
Have like multiple people they're dating at the same time, but it's generally understood that while you might date a bunch of people at the same time, it's very casual. You're not banging them all.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like it's if you're banging or making out or something like that, you're exclusive with that person. Who's usually pretty much the norm, the expectation.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, not anymore, but yeah.
Oh, I think for the most
Nowadays,
part, like I know a lot of younger people, and I don't think they'd be okay with that. Like they'd be like,
right.
no, no,
Yeah, I
no,
think it's
that's
just,
not how that shit works.
yeah, I guess it's just a higher percentage of that shit going on.
I think you see a lot of the
Multiple dating.
crazier shit. You know what I mean? Like where it's like the
Yeah, you don't hear about the average normal, one-to-one relationship
yeah,
shit
because
because
most
it's
of the people
not.
I know are
Not
very
in,
much like they're exclusive. They're not like trying to like date a bunch of people at the same time or that kind of wacky shit at all. It's very much like they're in committed relationships and they want monogamy. It's come around full circle. So like the degenerates are not the kids anymore. The degenerates are the adults.
yeah, still doing the shit as
Yeah,
adults. Yeah, like in their 30s and shit. Yeah, dude.
yeah.
Yeah, some of the fucking stories are just outrageous, dude.
Oh yeah.
And the complete lack of fucking. Did you hear the story about there was some like I guess it's a guy that does like book reviews or something. His name's Daniel Green. You have any idea who I'm talking about?
No, I never heard of that guy.
Yeah, okay. Well, anyways, he had a woman or whatever, and then there was some other chick that he was kind of, I guess, hooking up with. It's a very odd story. I'm not sure exactly what's true at this point, but basically,
Oh
the other
yeah.
woman. Yeah, the other woman turned out to be this completely fucking deranged bitch who initially came out with a thing where she didn't name him, but I guess from what I understand is it was pretty obvious who she was talking about, I guess. But then, like, he came back with, like, she accused him of, she never said actual rape, but she definitely said assaulted, right? So kind of indicating rape, basically. And
Yeah.
the more and more that comes out, the more and more deranged this bitch seems, and it's completely bullshit. And everything was absolutely consensual.
Oh,
And in
that happens
fact, I
so
think,
much now. It's almost like par for the course. Like
yeah,
anytime someone is crying rape, it's like, oh no.
yeah,
They just
yeah, and
hooked
that's
up,
the
and
really,
it's usually like regret after the fact, or like intentionally, like they were like, I'm gonna do
well,
this, and it's gonna make me some money and some fame.
yeah. The impression that I got was she was pissed that he didn't leave her girlfriend for her,
Oh,
which
she
is
was the
yeah,
other
probably
woman,
pretty.
and yeah, that's another one for revenge. Yeah, that happens a lot for revenge.
Yeah, that really seemed to be what it was. Um, but this bitch actually cut like promos on them both before she put anything out. Apparently, she literally made like personalized videos for him and his fucking woman, and sent them to him
Oh wow.
before putting the shit out. Yeah, dude, she is so fucking nuts, dude. Yeah, she and still trying to claim all kinds of shit. And then now she's like, I never said rape. I never said assault. I never said that. And then she's like, I know the original video is deleted now, but yeah, I never said assault. And she absolutely did. She didn't say rape, but she absolutely said assault.
Oh, that's fucked up, man.
And yeah, the whole story is,
You
yeah,
always feel really
it's
bad for those people, you know, because it's like they didn't do anything wrong, and now, they'll lose jobs, they lose family, they lose friends, lose reputation. It's like all these horrible things that happen as a result of being accused, because we don't live in a rape culture or whatever. Like that's nonsense. People are very it's very much an unexcusable crime in most people's eyes.
right. Yeah, and the guy definitely cheated. I mean, that's definitely what happened.
Oh yeah,
But
but who cares?
yeah, it was
That's not
definitely
illegal. I
the
mean, it's
impression that
gross.
I got.
It's not a thing I think is
Yeah,
cool,
yeah,
but
yeah,
it's not illegal.
yeah. No,
You know?
I wouldn't do it, but yeah, I'm not surprised that a popular YouTuber is cheating on his woman.
Oh
Like
yeah.
that's fucking far more common than not. Yeah, and for guys in general, really, especially any
Well,
young
and
guys.
if it's a Minecraft tuber, I'm surprised he was cheating with an adult. That's the only thing that would really be surprising.
Dude, that's funny because she reminded me of that Katie Bugs bitch that accused the one that was she was completely full of shit, where she was 18 and he was like 23. It's so weird how the younger generation, like if it's more than like a 2 year age gap, like 17 to 19 or 18 to 20, they freak the fuck out. Like it's the fucking craziest shit in the
Oh
world.
yeah, I saw one where like these people were acting like this dude who was in his, well, he was 31 or something, and he hit on a 19-year-old in like some sort of club slash bar or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. That's a little old for hitting on a 19-year-old. But like my parents are like that. That's like their age gap, right? And like,
Right.
and my dad wasn't the one that started the relationship. My mom was. My mom was the one that pursued him. And so it's like, and she's the younger one. And I'm like, so like, I don't get this nonsense where like, if people are legal, there can't be any sort of sizable age gap. It's like that happens all the time. That's pretty.
Right.
It's
Right.
not super common, but like 10 years
Yeah,
is a
it's not that
pretty
uncommon.
pretty
Yeah.
normal age gap in a lot of relationships. Like it doesn't seem like it would be, but a lot of younger women tend to want to go with older men because they're established and they have money and like stuff at that point.
Yeah.
And then a lot of women who
Yeah.
are
I got
established and don't have a man are happy to go for a younger man because hey, you know, why not get the better model? Right? You know, like why not? But like
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was, you know.
As long as you go into it.
I'm fine either way. Like I don't give a shit. It's like as long as the people are adults, I don't really give a fuck.
Hmm.
You know?
Yep. As long as they're fucking of age, there's nothing illegal going on. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Well, shit. I'm like, yeah. I was 27. My ex was 23 when we got together.
Yeah, and it's like that's a really normal age gap. Like 4 years is nothing.
Yeah.
Like I'm 40.
Yeah.
I'm 44.
Yeah.
I'm almost
3.5.
45.
Yeah.
If I was dating somebody who was like 35, it really wouldn't be a big deal.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, mine was, it was 3.5, basically 6 months apart on her birthday. So yeah, it's between 3 and 4 years,
Yeah, now I
depending.
understand when it's like 35 and 25, a lot of people get a little
Yeah.
more squitchy about it, but at the same time, it's at the end of the day, like they're both adults.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's crazy how they freak out about that. Oh my God, he was 20 and she was 18. Oh, that's horrible. And like, what the fuck
Yeah.
is wrong? Well, they're young and fucking stupid. And I guess I know what's wrong with them, but
Well, they're indoor cats, man. They don't fucking know. A lot of these people
Yeah,
are
they
they're
haven't
taught
lived
like
on
the
it.
weird, warped fucking concept of relationships and love.
yeah, it's just kind of that terminally online shit. Trying
Yeah.
to find a good picture. Which, let's see, Chud's done a bunch. Let's see. See if Chud Logic's got a good thumbnail. Oh, here we go. All right, this is pretty good. Yeah, she's got the fucking, both arms, essentially sleeve tattoos. She's not like unattractive, but you can clearly see she's over the fucking hill, or is crashing into the wall as we speak, kind of thing.
Yeah, she's certainly not a dapper young damsel.
Mhm. All right, let me see if we can. Nah, damn it! The fucking play button's always right in the fucking way. Damn it! But yeah, she's got the fucking shitty tattoos. Situation going on. Let's see if I can run a still picture that doesn't have the.
I wanted
What
to
do you
buy
call
him
it?
so he could rape me better.
Yeah, dude.
Nobody,
It's,
you know
I
what?
mean,
You
that's
know who
not.
doesn't say that?
That's
You
not
know
what
who
she
doesn't say
said,
that?
but
Rape victims
she
don't
didn't
say
say
that
it.
kind of shit.
She did not. Well, she didn't. She didn't say he's being like hyperbolic with. I mean,
Oh,
that's
okay. I was gonna
just.
say because if that was an actual quote
Yeah.
from her, it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, rape victims don't actually make those jokes most of the time. That's pretty rare.
Mhm. Yeah, no, it's essentially what she said. Yeah, Chud was being. He's a little. He definitely gets a little wacky with the clickbaity shit. He does good work in my opinion, but yeah, that's one thing we could definitely criticize him for.
Oh man, it's either
But
way, it's fucking
yeah,
brutal.
she was essentially like she was because she went into talking about how she can't self lubricate, like her pussy can't lubricate properly or something.
I had a friend like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's basically what she was saying.
Yeah, I had a really uncomfortable conversation for learning that particular fact about that friend, where she was talking about how the guy she was dating was banging her, and he didn't want to fucking wait till she was lubed up because she just never got lubed up, so he would just start fucking her dry,
Oh God!
and then she would bleed, and that's what would be the lubricant, and I'm like,
That's fucking gross.
I was like,
Going in.
oh my god, why are you still fucking this guy? That's not normal. That's not how most people respond to that situation.
It doesn't feel good for either of them, though. That's what's fucked up
No, I
about
can't
that.
imagine.
Like,
I can't fucking imagine.
no, yeah, it's not,
It
dude.
sounds
It's
horrific.
fucking. Yeah, it's very uncomfortable, dude. Yeah, if the bitch isn't lubed up at all, like,
They sell lubricant in stores for a reason. It's not like the end of the world if some chick can't get wet. You know, it's not like a big deal. You just, use lube. That's what it's for.
Yeah.
And I was explaining to her, I'm like, if he really cared about you, it's like, and I had to explain, I'm like, if he really cared about you, like, at all, he would go to the store and spend like $5 on a bottle of fucking lube.
Yeah, I cannot imagine. That is dude, that is so fucked up. You're gonna fuck this. Dude, that is fucking disgusting, dude.
Dark as fuck. Yeah, she's the one that ended up having a psychotic break, though, and I think it was because, I can't remember exactly what happened. I think he forced her into a position where she got a fucking abortion or something, and it fucked with her head or something.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty shitty.
Yeah. Alright, god damn, I forgot to judge these long ass fucking, any of those pictures puts this long ass shit on there. But yeah, the last one, I'm like, here's her covering up her sleeves, I guess, to try to seem more, what do you call it? Less slutty, I guess?
Yeah. There needs to be mandatory sentencing for false accusations.
Yeah, it should absolutely match what the penalty is for the accusation.
Yeah.
And again, it's not a thing of where, like, oh no, they're guilty.
And
so
I don't think it matters if it's a criminal allegation. I think if you're going to make allegations of a criminal act, like to somebody publicly and ruin their fucking life, you should be facing some jail time for that. I don't think money covers it. I don't think getting a little money out of it matters.
Yeah, and again, because people will be like, well, then women are going to be afraid to come forward. And like, we're not talking about the ones where they just can't quite get enough evidence to try the guy, to fucking try to convict the guy. Yeah. The ones where it's blatantly obvious you fucking lied.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
There's
like,
literal evidence of lying.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it would go. It's not like it wouldn't go both ways.
Right.
If some dude is making false allegations against some chick, I think he should go to prison too.
Like,
I don't think there's a gender gap here. No, we're not aiming for that. That'd be ridiculous.
Although, pretty rare that it works with the guy accusing the girls.
True, but it could be a guy accusing another guy. Like a couple of gay dudes or something like that.
Right. Indeed. But yeah, especially that kind of shit. Like, it's a fucking horrible thing. Falsely accused.
Especially in a big bad public way, and it's like a public figure. Like, he's a well-known streamer and everything. It's like, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Did you watch the decoy voice thing? The little 2 or 3 minute video I put up. I'm assuming not, because I just put it up today.
Which one was that?
The one where the girl is mad because she got hit by a car because she's blocking traffic and standing in the road.
Oh no, I didn't watch that one.
People were like slapping the car, and so they just drove through. She's fine. She's got like some bruises and cuts or whatever. But it's like, well, yeah, you got hit by a car. You shouldn't have been out in the middle of the street. That's what happens. You don't get to just block traffic arbitrarily because you feel like it that day.
Yeah, you remember when the
only person who should be facing criminal charges is her. Like, he should be able to pursue her for the damage done to his vehicle by her being in the road when she shouldn't have been. But I thought it'd be hilarious because it was an anti-immigration law, like, protest. If it turned out like she was illegal and the driver was, deport both of them and deport them both on the same fucking plane. That'd be so fucking great.
Let them have a conversation on the plane ride.
Like, you guys can talk about who's at fault while you fucking go back to wherever you're from.
Yeah. Beautiful.
I love that they're fucking carrying around Mexican flags, complaining about fucking enforcing our laws. It's like, yeah, Viva la Mexico. Well, if you like it so much that you're waving the flag, go the fuck back.
Yeah. Yeah, that is one I always found very odd. Like, what the fuck are you doing here, though? If it's so fucking wonderful, why are you fucking willing to come here illegally?
Yeah, everybody wants to be here, but they all want to complain about how terrible it is. It's like, well, then get the fuck out. You know, nobody said you had to be here. By all means, leave.
God damn. Oh shit, did you listen to that little clip of the Dark Viper soundbite? I wasn't sure if that played during the stream you were watching the other night.
I don't remember. I can't remember all of these things.
Yeah.
I know I probably listened to it. If it's just a little clip, I listened to it. But you're gonna give me context.
It's
I'm
like
not gonna like remember every fucking person involved.
Yeah, it's like it was only like 7 or 8 seconds. It's one of the sounders he uses. Like anytime somebody donates, there's different ones. He's got the one from Hassan, pretending that he doesn't know who Diorio is.
Oh yeah, Mr. Oreo, Mr. Nick Oreo. Dude. It's like, oh come on, everybody knows you know exactly who the fuck he is, dude.
Yeah, that is at least the 8th time he's done that. Because the sounder he had for the longest time for the donations was one where he, Hassan, isn't this Nick Diorio guy one of those crypto fascist dudes or something? Like, and that was probably like the 5th or 6th time that he pretended to not know who he is. Yeah, it's a very odd fucking thing that they do like that. Yeah, Destiny does it a lot. I mean, these people, the left guys, Destiny, Hassan, fucking Vouch, and all them, they're essentially the same guy. With slightly different skins, basically. Yeah, actually, during the latest video, he fucking lays it down pretty good. He's like, yeah, Hassan is basically like if you take out the Gooner fucking shit from Destiny and replace it with like loves terrorism, or you know what I mean, that kind of shit. Or Vouch, if you take away the being attracted to mostly adult women and you replace it with horse fucking and lolly, then you've got Vouch. But like tactics and all that shit, they're essentially the same.
That's a fucking weird.
Yeah, Vouch is fucking. They're such degenerates. It's fucking like Hassan. You could say anti-Semitism is Jew hatred instead of the loves terrorism.
Oh, the anti-Semitism thing is fucking insane,
dude. I don't know how Twitch keeps getting away. I don't know how like. Again, like the mainstream media and shit is not pointing that out. Like it's so blatant. It's so fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah, that just doesn't work. Like I don't get that part. Cause like, I mean, I get it. You know, I can understand people being like, for whatever bizarre reason, being like anti-Semitic, right? Like I don't understand why you just not understand that, like, you know, one person is not a representative of an entire race.
Yeah, or you restrict it to like the Israeli government or something. You know what I mean? Like that makes sense. But to just hate any group of people, the entire group of people. I mean, don't get me wrong. Jews do seem to be up to something. I don't fully trust them.
I think Jews have a similar culture to Asians in that they just
very cheap and money conscious,
and very success focused.
Yeah, or Mormons. You could say the same thing about Mormons.
Yeah, Mormons are similar. Yeah. There's a lot of groups of people like that where they're just very very focused on like, you know, we want to stay within our group. You know, if you're Asian, you know, your Asian parents are almost never real happy with their kids dating non-Asians.
Right, and specifically whatever type of Asian. You know what I mean? Like if you're a Chinese dad. And
you don't want your kid dating like a Japanese or a Korean. You know?
Yeah.
If you're Korean, you don't want your kid dating anybody that's not Korean, but you really don't want him dating a black dude.
Yeah, like it's definitely better than dating a black dude or a white dude.
Oh no, white dude would be okay in comparison. Koreans are super fucking racist against black people, man.
Oh yeah, dude.
Like crazy racist against blacks. I don't know why, but man, they fucking do not like them.
Yeah, I was gonna say if it's more recent that developed, it could be all the old Asian people that are getting beat up by black dudes for no fucking
Oh no,
reason.
this is from a long time
Yeah, I
ago.
know.
Like,
I
yeah,
know.
weirdly.
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember
No,
I
it's
worked at a place, and one of the assembly leads, so like sort of like an assistant manager, on one of the assembly lines there. Like every time they put a black person on her line, she would end up finding a reason to fire him, until they eventually realized, oh, we just can't
oh, it's a
let this lady be in charge because she just can't handle working with people that aren't like white or Asian. Like she was fine with Asian and white people, but like black people, and I think to a lesser extent Mexican people were just she was not okay with those people. Like it was like it was kind of bizarre. It was like at a certain point, like you know. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Racism fucking doesn't make any sense. I don't know why I'm trying to.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, if they
act
kept
like I'm surprised.
yeah, if they kept, dude, that's going to end up being a gigantic fucking lawsuit at some point. Like, why
Oh
does it seem like
no, that was the thing. Yeah, that's why they fired her. Yeah, or they didn't fire her. They just demoted her, like or cross promoted to the point where she was no longer in charge of anybody. So essentially the same thing without actually like getting rid of her.
Yeah, she's like writing up the black people for shit that she's completely letting slide anyone else slide for, that kind of shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what was it? I also there was a guy I worked with who was like he was like half Filipino, and so everybody would always be confused and think that he was like Mexican for some reason. Which was unfortunate because we had some Mexican gangbanger meth dealer got a job there because there were a couple of meth head junkies, and so it was like he was going to work and then collecting like half their paychecks along with his just to like provide him with meth. And he was apparently with whatever gang it is that wears red, and he was not real thrilled that my buddy, the half Filipino guy that he just arbitrarily decided was Mexican, was wearing blue or something like that, and wanted to fight him.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Well, I think there's some crossover.
Hey, we're gonna fight now or some shit. And it was like, what the fuck are you on, dude?
Yeah, there's a lot of words in the Filipino language that are like originated with Spanish.
Oh yeah, but this dude only spoke fucking English, like, and it was only like LA style English too, like a surfer bro.
Yeah. But yeah, I can see how there's plenty of Filipinos that could pass for Mexican. I could see that.
Oh yeah.
Because there are a lot of Mexicans that have the chino eyes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Where they're like slanted a little bit.
My ex's family. Yeah. Got a little bit of that epicanthic fold or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah, epicanthic fold, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't remember the exact word, but that sounds right.
Yeah, it's something like that. I'm not sure if I got it right.
That's what I'm saying. It sounds right. I don't know if I couldn't say for sure one way or the other.
Yeah, it's close. I'm confident that it's close to right. But I would not swear to it being definitely right.
Oh, yeah. Funny.
It's very much in the ballpark.
Yeah, I don't know, man. People get so weird about that. Like, I don't think people understand what it really means to just not be racist anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where you just
look at
people
kind of
based on their own actions, and that's all you judge them by.
I mean, they're almost like, "What's wrong with you?"
Yeah, like one of the people I work with is like, I keep forgetting you're so much older than I am, and I'm like, yeah, because I talk to everybody the exact same way.
Right.
I'm not.
Yeah, you remember hearing about the.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk down to somebody because they're 10 years younger than me. That's dumb.
Yeah, it's similar to the when they did that study about like the way liberals and conservatives, like white liberals and white conservatives. Sorry, in a second, I'm filling up the water. Would talk to like minorities.
Yeah.
And like most of the conservatives will just talk to them like they're normal people. And all the liberals, the ones that are love minorities so much.
The good people are really racist when they talk to them.
Yeah. They would talk to him like they're talking to a fucking child.
Yeah.
Like they're fucking dumb, like they're fucking morons. Yeah, I was,
Constantly. It's insane. It's if you've ever been there when they do it, it's one of the most cringy fucking things you'll ever hear in your life.
yeah, I can imagine, dude. Yeesh. Yeah, I've been fortunate enough to not see a whole lot of that shit.
I was hanging out with a couple of friends from dance one day, and they introduced me to this other girl that they knew, and she was her parents were a doctor and a lawyer, and she decided to share with us this really funny joke her dad would tell all the time. And it was anytime they were out in the yard, her and her mom hanging out doing stuff or whatever, and they would walk by a window or something, he would be like, "What are you guys doing out there? You're not Mexican." It's like, and she didn't get that was incredibly fucking racist. She just genuinely thought it was like, oh, it's just a funny, like, charming joke my dad tells. And we were both looking at her like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I definitely would make those jokes with my Mexican friends.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it's not funny, and that there might not be a lot of people who would appreciate that on both sides of that race.
Yeah, but the fact that it's all
it was funny that she just didn't get that it was like.
Yeah, that you tell that story when it's all.
How the fuck are you this oblivious, lady? Come on.
Yeah, that is pretty amazing. But yeah, no, it was one of the best things. The most fun. It was like hanging out with like a group of white Mexican people just talking shit about the other race.
Oh yeah,
and nobody ever got mad. Like nobody crossed the line.
I don't know
like,
if
it was
you can
funny
do that
shit.
anymore, though, man. Everybody's so fucking sensitive. Not. It's dumb.
Yeah,
it's
probably,
like,
probably
that used
not,
to be
man.
like part of the fun of watching like a black comedian. Was you knew he was going to tell a bunch of fucking jokes about white people.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that genuinely, it was like you knew you were going to hear a bunch of fucked up jokes about white people, and it was funny.
Right.
You know, you didn't take it seriously. Nobody ever took it personally. We all fucking knew it was just a fucking, you know, it was just a joke.
I think
it wasn't a big deal, but it was like,
Yeah, the only one that ever really bugged me with it was like, because the way he did it seemed very like mean-spirited.
Yeah, sometimes it's super mean and it's not funny because it's so mean.
But like, like Chappelle does a great job of it still. I have no problem with him doing the white voice or doing any of that shit. Because it's not mean-spirited. It's just fucking funny. Exactly. And it's not really at your friends, or at least not in a mean way. Yeah, I remember Martin Lawrence specifically. I'm like, he genuinely hates white people. Fuck this guy. But yeah, very few times that I hear any black comics going off on white people where it like really bugged me. Besides him.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no,
pretty rare. Dude. Chris Rock is always pretty funny.
Yeah, he does not. Yeah, he does a good job with it too, for sure. Indeed.
Oh man, yeah. No, I just miss when people were like less fucking unhinged about everything.
Yeah, and less fucking sensitive, dude. Yeah, fuck. I don't remember who I was talking with it about, but I'm like, I don't know, man. For like most of my generation, would like rather get kicked in the nuts repeatedly than admit that you did something that offended us. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna let you fucking know you bothered me. Fuck you. You know what I mean? That kind of shit.
Yeah.
And now it's like the people seek it out. A lot of people look to be offended. They go out of their way to be offended. I don't understand
that part. The part where they're just like genuinely like seeking.
How can I be offended by this?
Yeah. How can I? Yeah. How can I be like mad?
Yeah, it's fucking bizarre, man.
To me, it's like
I'm not gonna let you know you bother me. Fuck
it's
you.
a sign of weakness, man. You letting everybody know you're weak.
Yeah.
It's like the last thing you want to do is let everybody know how weak you are. Come on.
Yeah. It's like online, like admitting, hey, stop doing this. This is really bothering me. Like that's a death sentence.
Oh God,
You know what I mean?
the
See, like
number
a
of
creator.
times, the
You know?
number of times
Mhm.
that I have seen people online be like, "Oh my God, could you please stop? I find that really offensive," and you just have to go
Yeah.
like,
Your
"Motherfucker,
first
have
day
you
on the
ever
internet?
been on the internet before?
Okay.
Like, do you not
First day on the
understand that
internet,
you're
huh?
just asking to be harassed?"
Yeah. Yeah. No, that is kind of my go-to line is sarcastically saying, "Oh yeah, no, the best way to get people to stop doing stuff that bothers you is to let them know that it bothers you."
Oh yeah.
That's the first rule of the internet. Like fucking idiots. Don't let anybody know what bugs you. They're gonna keep doing it for fucking ever. Because yeah, there's
Or
plenty of
just
times where
not
that
be
shit
bothered
happens.
by it.
Yeah.
There was this guy
Yeah. Certainly
I
don't let anybody
would
know.
occasionally. There's people who will occasionally make jokes about me being old, and I'm like, well, yeah, I am. I'm fucking old. Like I'm 44 years old
Yeah, you
compared to
got
y'all
me.
at 20 years old. Yeah, I'm fucking old. I got no problem with that.
Yes.
That's me right there. I'm an old man. I'm proud
Yeah,
about
that
it.
is an
They think
accurate
I'm like offended
observation.
by it or something, and I'm like, no, I'm not offended. I am old. You're not wrong. Like,
You know.
and they don't seem to get it. They're like, oh no, but you must be mad or something. And it's like, nah, no, you're
Yeah, no
just
lies
pointing out
detected.
reality, bro. It's not gonna piss me off. Like, it's certainly not gonna offend me.
Mm. Oh, damn. Right. Oh yeah, the tomorrow's teaching thing, dude. I wish I would have grabbed that. Whoever replied to me, like by the time I saw it, they had deleted it. But like the comment where I'm pretending that tomorrow's teaching is doing a good job of showing like things that could really happen in real life.
Oh
I even put a
yeah.
template. I'm like, this isn't sarcasm at all. I swear, it's a genuine comment. But yeah, somebody actually responded to me. I don't know what they actually wrote because they must have posted it and then actually read the rest of my fucking my comment and erased it like very quickly because I went in to see what they said and
Oh, and it was already gone. It was
it was
like,
already gone. Yeah. Let me see. It's probably still in my notifications because it doesn't get deleted from your notifications, but it only shows the tiny little bit of what do you call it? The very first part of it. Yeah. So yeah, this is the comment. All it says
oh
is,
yeah.
"Brother, they have a video where," and then that's all they can see. So obviously he was referencing a video about some crazy shit to try to make me understand that they aren't over the top and absurd. And then he must have read my actual comment
Well,
and
you
realized I
can
was
see
bullshit.
that lady was trying not to fucking laugh the whole time.
Yeah. Oh, at the very end, especially because she's like, "Okay, we got," and then like she kind of dropped character for a second, and then kind of went back to it. Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Yeah, I thought that
Right,
was pretty
right at the
funny.
very end, dude. Yeah. She's like, "Are we clear?" "Oh, we're not." "Oh," and she goes back to the mean face and shit. Oh fuck! I didn't catch that live, but I wish I would have. It was fucking amazing.
Yeah, that's one of the few
Yeah, the
times where I
fact that he
was like,
hides
man,
my
I wish
comment.
I'd been there when it was live because I bet it was funny as fuck. Like the comments going through must have been insane.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the BetterHelp comment. Just remember her reaction to that. She's like, "Oh yeah, no, I could use all kinds of help. But yeah, help me with diapers and like playing along like she didn't understand what they meant by BetterHelp. I could
Oh
use some
man.
BetterHelp."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Because at the end, "Oh, if you mean mentally, then no, I'm totally fine." Yeah, she did a pretty good job. Yeah, that one. And again, he hearted the comment. Okay, hey, not that I really needed it, but 99.9% there in that as well. That it was parody, like deliberately over the top parody.
Oh,
But the thing is,
I think the question was never is it a parody. The question is, do they realize they're making a parody, or are they that fucking unaware?
yeah, no, they're definitely doing it. Yeah, or again, 99.9. I'll leave it at that. But yeah, the fact they hearted my comment, I'm like, yeah, they know. They're bullshitting. And the reason that that's even a question is because there are ones that are not deliberately doing a parody that are not that far off from that. You know what I mean? Like there's some wild shit that the non-parody channels
Oh yeah.
the Darman clones are putting out that are fucking insane, and they're not trying to be parody. Like they're trying to be serious. So yeah, it's like it's not that far off. That's why it took me a few videos of theirs. So I'm like, fuck this, dude. These people are dumb, dude. What the fuck?
Oh
And then I'm
yeah.
like, oh, okay, all right, I get it. All right, this is essentially a parody of the absurdity of the Darman clones. I got my dog with me, just so you know.
Oh yeah.
You hear
I
this
kind of
weird
figured. I
talking
didn't
comment.
think you were saying any of that to me.
Damn. To the store I go to and walk to this morning, one of the workers there is like, "Hey, take a walk," and he like walked him like fucking about a quarter mile down and back. I was like, "Cool, thanks, man." Mm.
Nice.
Yeah, then one of the other guys that works there, every time he brings out a treat for him.
Oh nice.
Yeah, although today I was leaving like, and he probably would have, but I left. But dude, my dog, he's only done it like it's like maybe 3 times he's done it the last 3 times or so. But yeah, my dog, as soon as he saw that guy go inside, because he's so used to him, already, or not expecting it, but he's like, all right, 3 times in a row, this guy went in there and came back out with a nice treat. So he just stayed locked on that fucking door, dude, like the whole time I was packing up. It was pretty
He's
funny.
like, this could be awesome for me. Just gotta be patient and wait.
Dude, he freaks out when he sees that guy. He rushes him, tries to jump up on him. Like I literally have to like yank him down, dude.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, that guy has fucking treats, baby. Come on, what do you want?
Yeah. Although he kind of did that before, because
he's a golden retriever, so there's a certain amount of that you're just gonna get.
Yeah, it's weird, dude. Cause I had to do it to a guy that seen. Like he jumped up at him, and I'm fucking, again, totally friendly, but you don't know if you're not familiar with golden retrievers that much, and you're not aware of their temperaments.
I mean, some people
Yeah,
are
it could be
afraid of
bad.
dogs too. Some people just don't like dogs for whatever reason.
Yeah. Although that guy, I don't know if he was just genuinely trying to be helpful, or if he was like trying to shit talk him because the dog almost jumped on him. But he's like, "Are you like stranded here or something?" I don't know what his deal was, because I go with a backpack and fucking, I bring a couple of the couple things of water for him. I bring his water dish.
Oh yeah, well you live in the desert. You're not, you'd be dumb as fuck if you didn't bring water with you when you went out.
Yeah, I basically filled 2 of the bigger monster. What are those, like 24 ounces? I think the one that has the screw-on lid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I reuse those for water.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 24
Yeah, so when I get there. Yeah, and again, since I'm not carrying a huge amount, like I've got a thing of jerky in that I rarely ever actually eat any of it, but it's in there just in case. I got a couple of bottles of water for me, and then I've got 2 giant fucking monster cans full of water for him. So when I get there, I pull the dish out, because again, I got plenty of room in my backpack. And the dish fits in fine, so I'm like, yeah, I'll bring it, fuck it. So yeah, I set that down. As soon as we get there, I'll go in and buy my cigarettes or whatever. I come out, pour him his water. And then on the way back, I'll usually stop about 3/4 of the way home, right when he's starting to, like, the heat's kind of getting to him a little. And basically pour out the other monster bottle for him. Even though he never drinks all of it, no matter what. Yeah, taking a bite. But yeah, he started. I can't remember if I talked about this before, but basically, like once it started getting a little warmer in the afternoons, because it's still like we had a few days in the 80s over the last few days, but before that it's like 60s and 70s. When it started getting into the high 70s, like on the way back, he would just start plopping down like every 20 or 30 feet every time there was any amount of shade. Oh yeah, no, I told you about it. Yeah, It's the creosote bushes. Yeah, the creosote bushes do not provide a lot of shade. But dude, he started doing it on the way, the way to the store, and I'm like, dude, come on, like you're not tired, you're not hot, fucker, you're not overheating yet. But yeah, he started doing it on the way, like we've only got a quarter of a fucking mile, and he's just like, nope, I know when I plop down here, you're gonna come down and check on me and pet me, so I'm doing it.
Oh yeah, you gotta check the behavior.
Oh yeah, no, he's like, no, I know what happened. Yeah, whether I'm bullshitting or not, you're gonna come down and pet me a little bit and check on me. So, he's gotten a lot better about letting me check his paws at least, because he's, it's incredibly rare that he doesn't get some kind of stickers stuck in one of his paws on the way there or back.
So when you're looking at his feet, it doesn't give him pause anymore?
Yes. Yes, that is very well said. Very punny.
You're welcome. I'm sure you were very interested in
But it's
hearing that one.
oh man, but yeah, no, for the because the main reason is because I was constantly doing this fucking with him by grabbing his paws, like I got your paw, I got your paw. But yeah,
Oh,
since
yeah.
I stopped doing that, and again, the only time I do it is when he's obviously limping because there's some kind of those dude. There's so much shit in the desert. It's just fucked up thorns. Everything's kind of
yeah.
pointy.
It's
Stick,
fucking
yeah.
all the cactuses and stuff. Like there's the one that like won't it like has like little barbs in it.
Yeah, the cholla. The cholla cactus, the jumping cactus. Yeah, that one, dude, it's insane because it really does seem like it. They call it the jumping cactus. Because again, if you fucking brush against that thing at all, that piece is falling off. And it's going to be stuck to you. I gotta find a picture. There's one of my grandfather got it stuck in the side of his fucking, it's stuck in the side of his head.
Oh,
Still don't remember exactly how that happened, but there's a picture of my grandfather with a fucking piece of the cholla cactus stuck in his head.
Oh, that's gotta be
Yeah,
lovely.
most of them are not. Most of them are not like that prickly like that. Like the saguaro, like you can basically touch the spikes and they're not gonna like prick you or anything. Like they kind of round it off. Barrel cactus, those are a little more. I don't know what you call it, but almost not fabric, but I don't know. Somewhere between steel and plastic, it seems like it's not really. It's really hard. But like, and the end in points that are kind of pointy. Hold on, I'll look it up. I'll see it. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to. I just realized I'm not gonna be able to explain that for shit. I'm just gonna find a picture of a barrel cactus. All right, give me a second. Or the prickly pears, another one. That's
yeah. Well, the thorns in all of those come in on cloisters. It's like there's like a bundle of thorns growing there or some shit. It's weird.
Ah, damn it, that's not what I was looking at. Okay, but yeah, they make the prickly pear ones. They make what do you call it? They actually make a jelly out of the fruit.
Yeah, it's supposed to be really,
which
really
is
good.
actually pretty good. It is, dude. Yeah, I've had it before. It's definitely good shit. But it's a pain in the ass apparently because like the outer coating has a bunch of like tiny little fucking spiky things. So you have to make sure you like if you're like you can eat it in the wild, but you need to make sure you get that layer off. Otherwise, it's gonna kind of fuck you up.
Yeah, there's a guy I watch, or I used to watch on YouTube because he actually had realistic survival like advice and shit. Not that I think I'd ever need it because it was desert based, but I thought it was like interesting just to learn like actual real stuff, not like what's that British cunt that told everybody to drink their own piss, which by the way you should never do.
Fuck, who said that? Russell
Bear
Brand?
Grylls, that guy, the faker.
Oh,
Bear Grylls.
okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
But
Russell Brand.
this guy is the one that, because you can almost always tell like real survivalists because they're like, you should definitely be carrying a fair amount of food with you when you go out for like a hike and stuff, like some granola bars and some jerky or something. Always be carrying water. You should probably bring a knife, probably bring a flashlight, bring like a lighter or some matches.
Yeah, indeed.
Those people are like, or like, and hey, even if you really, couldn't hurt if you live in some areas to bring like or those emergency blankets, the little Mylar blankets. You know, because you can fit one of those the size of a
Yeah.
wallet or a pack of cards. Can fit in most like bags or whatever, just like an extra. Even if you're like wearing like a
Yeah.
fanny pack or something. But he would always talk about how like if you get like because you could eat like the prickly pears, and then there's like this cactus where you can just eat like the petals of the cactus, like all of them.
All right. Right.
Yeah, yeah, I've seen those before.
All right. I'm deleting it. I don't know what the because I'm trying to get it to where it doesn't. Oh yeah, I need to just copy it. That's right.
But he
Okay. Now I
recommended you just
remember.
charring the skin all the way around the outside of all of the fruits and stuff you get from cactuses.
Yeah, almost
He's
all
like,
of them are
just
gonna have
char it
those
all the
tiny,
way,
tiny bugs.
scrape it on a rock because that's the only way you're going to be guaranteed there's going to be no thorns. And yeah, it might not be the most tasty, but it won't make you like, it won't injure you, it won't fuck your mouth up, it won't make you sick.
Yeah, and it could keep you alive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that one, the ones showing, they're a little. Most of the ones around here are more segmented. They're like smaller, little, almost individual pods that will break off. Just
Yeah.
spike filled like that, and fucking spikes all over them. But yeah, you touch these things at all, it's breaking off, and it's gonna be stuck in you.
Well, and the only way
They're
people
fucking
are
pain in
able
the
to
ass.
get them out is with like fucking chopsticks made out of sticks, right? Because the last
Mm.
thing you want to do is try to get
Yeah,
it off with your fingers.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you do not want to. Yeah, I've gotten them on my shoes, and that's fucking annoying enough. But yeah, luckily I've never yet to have them stick in my skin.
I saw one where it was a guy had it in like the ankle on one side, and the guy got it out, and it fucking managed to stick in the ankle on the other side. And it was just like, the
Dude.
guy was just like, what the fuck are you doing, asshole? He was so fucking unhappy.
Oh shit! Here's one from Coyote Peterson. I haven't heard of him in forever. I wonder what that guy's up to. But yeah, this one, the one that he's got in this picture or whatever, that's more of what the pods look like on the cholla around here. Yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly the
Oh,
size
yeah,
they
yeah,
are.
yeah.
Like, again, it'll be like instead of having the long ones that you're seeing in the other pictures, it'll be a bunch of like 3 or 4 individual segments like that. That makes up like each branch. So yeah, just like the last one to kind of fall off and attach to you or whatever one you're unfortunate enough to brush lightly up against.
Yeah. Yeah, that always looked like a fucking...
Dude, there's so many, and again, they're barbed, so they're fucking. Dude, it's such a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I'm not a real big fan of like the desert in general. I'm not a big fan of heat. Although,
Yeah.
from what I understand,
That's
because
weird,
it's
Mars.
primarily dry heat in the desert, it's not as bad as you would think.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's yeah. No, I
But
think I've
yeah,
discussed it here before. Yeah, 105 here is far easier to deal with than like 90 degrees Florida.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like
Well,
it's
any day in California where it's humid, it's miserable.
yeah, yeah. Luckily here, it's almost always, you know. Fuck, I forgot what video I was watching, but I think they say the average rainfall. I think like Phoenix gets like 2 inches a year. It's like 2 or 3 inches a year total.
Wow.
It's an insanely low amount. Yeah, what's his name? The Mini Minute Man. He's one of the guys that kind of does the debunking of like flat Earth and that kind of pseudoscience shit. But he was taking a trip to. Did I share that? The Tonto National Bridge one. I think I might have shared that. But if not, hold on. I'll find it. But yeah, there's a spot. Yeah, because it's. I think I'd mentioned it's right up by where we go camping. I'd never been there. And there's just this long ass, like essentially like cave or whatever. Like they call it a bridge, but it's very long. Like it's not the arches kind of bridge. It's a much thicker, whatever the fuck you call it. Where the fuck was that? Oh, here we go. Yeah, my mom. I was talking to my mom about it. She's definitely been there. But yeah, I never went. I wasn't with her when she did, I guess. But yeah, that's an interesting video. He talks about the. Oh yeah. I mentioned. You probably mentioned it. It's fine. It happened. But I mentioned that he was trying to. He was like, yeah, I'm hoping to see some javelina while I'm in Arizona, and I'm like,
yeah,
good
yeah.
luck, buddy. Yeah, I've been here almost 40 years, and I've seen them twice ever.
Wow, they're that
And I
hard to
spent a
catch.
lot of time. Well, they don't go anywhere near humans. They're fucking way the fuck out in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, it's crazy that these, you know what they are? They're wild pigs
Mm-hmm.
essentially. Yeah. Okay.
I've seen them in like nature
Yeah, I remember.
documentaries and shit.
Yeah, they call
When
them
I have a
peccaries.
panic attack, one of the best things is to watch like a nature documentary.
Right.
So I've seen a lot of fucking animals, javelinas and all sorts of wacky shit. They look really cool. They're like wild pigs, but they got like a weird narrow snout. It's I don't know. They're pretty cool looking, and they kind of weird fur pattern too.
Mm.
A little
Yeah,
more
it's
gray
odd.
than like brown or pink.
Yeah, it's odd that like it's weird that something like that lives in the desert like that. Honestly, they got hair and shit. It's fucking. Although again, it's probably like a lot of animals where the hair actually helps
Oh
with
yeah.
the heat somehow. And however that's supposed to work.
Well, it's so like
Apparently.
the sun is what warms you up, right?
Right. Yeah.
So instead of being able to cool off because like the hair's not keeping the heat in, the hair actually keeps the sun off of the skin, which actually keeps you cooler than if you didn't have the hair.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. It's
one of
kind
those
of what.
things that
Yeah.
like we have a husky, or we had a husky. You're not really supposed to shave your dogs in the summer. Like we
Right.
would
Right.
shave
Yeah. It's part of the protection.
we would
Yeah.
shave the we didn't shave the husky, she was fine, but we would shave the what was that, laphound, the Finnish laphound, because they're genuinely
Yeah.
not designed for summers as warm as ours,
Right. Right.
because they have an
Yeah. And there's not
actual
all
like
that warm.
2-stage fur coat. Like most dogs just have
Yeah.
one kind of fur. The Finnish laphound would
Right.
have like
Right.
normal dog fur, and then as it like got out to the outside parts, it'd be like this really stiff, wiry extra set of fur.
Right. Yeah, yeah. Goldens and like labs have it too, I believe. Yeah, yeah, because they're in water. Well, that's I guess. Then whatever. What was the other one? My other favorite. The Bernese Mountain Dogs seem to have that too. Because I know
Yeah.
I watched a lady. There's a lady. The channel. There's two channels. There's Girl with the Dogs, and then Girl with the Two, where she does grooming like for free, essentially. Like her YouTube money essentially finances her doing grooming for free. And yeah, some of the dogs, she's literally like, yeah, I have to. I can't just like spray them from a distance. I literally have to put it right up against them to even get down to their skin
Mm-hmm.
to like get them completely wet. Yeah, so there's a few dogs. Yeah, I don't think the Goldens are quite that bad. I think the Bernese are close. Like that one's a tough one to get down, get down all the way to the skin and actually get them all wet. Um, fuck, there was one of them. Yeah, fuck it. Never mind. I've already forgotten what I was talking about. I'm trying to find one with tusks. The javelina with tusks, because the males definitely grow them. Or is it just big ass teeth? Maybe it's just the big ass teeth. Maybe they don't have tusks. I kind of thought all wild pigs, the males would grow tusks. But now I'm looking at this. Here, I'm going to post this because this would show you. So I may have been mistaking these for tusks. But here's one with its mouth nice and wide open. Jesus Christ, dude. Fucking suck. Discord, you suck. There we go. So yeah, that I guess you probably don't really need tusks when you got fucking teeth like that.
Yeah, pigs are interesting
Gigantic
because, like, wild pigs and domestic pigs are essentially the same fucking animal.
Right.
So it kind of seems like they grow certain features as needed, which doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, no, it's like yeah, like if you have like you could have generations of pigs grown in a farm or whatever. If they get loose and they get out in the fucking wilderness, like within a year, they're feral and they're growing fucking all that shit, growing tusks and all that
fur
shit.
and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts, dude. That's fucking great as far as evolutionary. That's fucking fantastic.
They're just like, yeah, I'm here, I'm safe. I don't need to bother putting any, energy into growing tusks or whatever. And if they're out in the wild, they're like, I absolutely need to put my XP, put my fucking my points into growing some tusks.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty nuts.
Yeah, yeah, because there's not. I don't think there's a lot of animals that are like that, right? They will actually adapt during their lifetime. Like literally, if they can stay on a farm for like 10 years or like
Amphibians are
whatever.
probably the most well known for adapting, and that's because a lot of them are like capable of changing gender, their sex, literally changing their sex.
Right, God.
Maybe that's what we need.
But yeah,
we need to
just
start
like
mutating trans people with frogs.
okay. Oh my God. But yeah, no, it's crazy that again, domestic pig living on a farm for 10 years, or I don't know how long they live, but whatever, several years. And then again, if it escapes and it's out and about in the wilderness, like within a year, it's already fucking going feral and growing fucking tusks and shit. It's pretty nuts, man.
Definitely impressive.
Indeed.
All
right, so I gotta assume that the first one has got to be the mother.
Did you see the short I put up about the guy who was trying to gatekeep? You know, like the guy's wearing the band shirt. He's like, name 3 songs. I was like, no, name 3 poses.
Oh fuck, that's pretty good. Like, no, I'm not a poser yet. You have not established. Whatever.
Yeah, you have to establish that you can actually gatekeep properly before I'm going to waste my time proving anything to you, sucker. Oh, that was fucking great. I was like, that's an amazing line. I put that one up in the Discord for the karaoke people I hang out with, and a few of them were like, I'm going to fucking use that. Like, I'm going to remember that shit. Because, like, I'm of the opinion, if you just think the shirt looks cool, fucking wear it, go for it.
Right.
I don't give a shit if you're a fan of whatever band the shirt you're wearing is. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, that is fucking... Yeah.
I mean, even if it was like, oh, well, you don't know the band, well, that's like free advertising for the band, whether or not the person knows it or not. So why would they care? Like, I doubt the band themselves give a shit. You know what I mean? I'm sure they're like... wear our fucking shirt anytime you fucking want, bro. Like,
right. Yeah, there are probably a few douchey bands that have a problem. For the most part, yeah, they're not gonna fucking care.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's always that one loser out there who just doesn't fucking get it.
There's always the pretentious douchebags. Wherever you go, there's gonna be a few pretentious douchebags out there.
Yeah, that's unavoidable. That's unfortunately, that's just one of those things. Like, you can just never avoid that. But I think the majority of bands would recognize that, like, yeah, having your shit out there on somebody's chest or whatever is good advertising, and it doesn't cost you anything.
In fact, you profit from the sale of the shirt, most likely.
Yeah, you probably got a couple of bucks out of the shirt. Yeah, that's a good point. I forgot about that part.
Mm-hmm. Oh, fuck, I just came across the Ariana Grande picture again. God. Dude, how's nobody telling her? Somebody's got to be telling her, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, the thing with the eating disorders and stuff like that, where you, like, you get, like, anorexic and shit, is people can tell you all you want. They're just delusional about how they see themselves. Like, she doesn't see herself as skinny. She probably still sees herself as fat. Even though she's, like, dying.
So fucked up, man.
And,
oh my god. But she's getting to fucking Eugenia Cooney levels here.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Ariana Grande. Fucking do not like her, but fuck, dude.
Yeah,
I
she
wouldn't
was
wish
cute,
that
though.
on her. I wouldn't wish that on anybody, man.
Yeah, this is the first time where I'm like, ugh.
Man.
You know what I mean? Like, she was perfectly fine, good-looking chick. She's pretty fucking hot. And now it's like, gross, dude. I bet you can see your fucking thigh bone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Get a couple
like, that's when you know the anorexia.
Hammers and play a rib cage like a xylophone.
Dude, it is so gross. Like, if you can actually see the thigh bone of a chick, it is one of the most unattractive
seen. If you're so fucking skinny that your thigh bone is jutting out, it's so fucking gross, dude. Yeah, and it is weird. Like the pro Anna shit is like just
Oh,
anorexia.
that is always
to
really
begin with.
sad. Yeah, the
Yeah,
Pro-Ana stuff.
yeah, like yeah, anorexia is bad enough. It's fucking horrible to begin with, but then you get a bunch of them together and gaslight themselves into convincing each other that people are just jealous of how skinny you are. You're like,
Yeah.
dude, you're fucking look like a skeleton. Yeah, if I can see your fucking upper rib cage, the interior upper rib cage should never be seen. Man, woman, whoever. That should not be fucking showing.
No, never.
Ugh. I'm gonna save this picture in case I come across a time when I need to.
Like when she's passed away from fucking malnutrition and shit.
Jesus, dude. Yeah, that's so fucking. Ugh.
Yeah, I feel bad for her, man. Anybody in that
Yeah.
position it's unfortunate.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, that's a really.
I may not
pernicious?
like her music, but that doesn't mean I want her to suffer.
Yeah, that's a tough thing for anybody.
It's like
Man.
you gotta tell her, like, Ariana,
Just imagine.
you don't lick the donut, just eat the whole thing.
Oh
Eat
yeah,
the whole
wasn't there a
donut,
video where
baby.
she did
Come on,
that?
them thick thighs are in. People love them thighs
Yeah.
that jiggle now.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
got
I said,
some
yeah.
jiggly
Never
thighs,
liked her music.
fucking dudes are into
Yeah.
that right now. There was
Yeah.
some e-girl that started losing weight, and I started seeing a whole lot of comments from all sorts of people being like, "Man, I wish this bitch had stopped losing weight. I like her ass the way it is now." Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, there's some. Yeah, there's plenty of girls that actually look a little better when they're a little chunky, man. I definitely prefer that. I'd rather have a little extra weight than whatever the fuck that is. Ariana Grande. Yeah,
Like,
I don't mind a
to
little
me,
extra.
it looks too
Yeah.
frail. It looks like they're gonna fall apart.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like they wouldn't survive a heavy makeout session would be too much. You know.
What's really weird is her face still looks normal.
Yeah,
Like
I
her
don't know.
head looks normal.
Maybe it's a
Everything
doctored
else looks
photo.
wrong.
Maybe it's a fucking like you know,
Yeah,
people
that
are just
one
trying to
might
drum
be,
up a lot of
actually.
interest in her or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that one might be because she's definitely way skinnier than she should be. Let me see. I'm gonna find some other pictures of this shit.
It's like you know, like Nicholas Oreo and that guy he's flirting with, Papa something or other.
Oh, Papa Gut.
Yeah, him and Papa Gut, like they're obviously flirting.
Dude, that shit's so fucking funny.
Yeah, like why else
Papa
would you
Gut's
be
made,
sending
like,
a lot of videos you made, fake videos you made, or fake pictures you made of somebody kissing a bunch of other people? You want to kiss him.
Yeah.
Papa Gut wants to make out with Oreo. I think it's pretty clear.
Yeah, it wouldn't be surprising at all.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it is all the bitches that he. Everybody, like anybody, Dioreo's doing videos of. So I guess you can give him, you know, a little bit of a pass, but he seems to be really into it.
Oh yeah, Papa Gut
Oh,
and Nicholas Oreo are super like going back and forth flirtatiously. It's like the fucking Creepcast guys, Wendigoon and Papa Meat. It's pretty clear they're flirting.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
like you saw
Wendigoon, I
that thing
think,
where Papa Meat sent Wendigoon a nude.
Yeah.
Did
Oh,
you not
really?
see that?
No, I did not see
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I forget which one it was. It was one of the most recent two. It was the one where he wasn't doing the fucking accent. Papa Meat is a little too much for me at times, but this one was like I almost stopped watching halfway through. The 4-hour one where it was like a story about being on a boat.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't watched that one
Because
yet.
he was
Dude,
doing a
bit of a
British
slog.
accent for almost the entire first half.
Oh, fuck.
And it was
Yeah,
a
he's not
really
great with that.
fucking
Some
bad
accents.
one. And it was just like,
Yeah.
oh, dude,
Yeah.
fucking stop, dude. Just stop.
Yeah. Well, sometimes even a bad one can be funny. But yeah, this one's
A
just
bad
annoying.
one can
yeah.
be funny
It's
for
annoying.
like 5 or 10 minutes, 15 minutes. 2 hours, man, that's crossing a line, man.
Yeah. It's like, you should be better about it by accident by now, guys.
Yes.
fucking knock it off.
Yes, like even just by accident, you should be able to do this without being this offensive, my friend.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you watch the Ozempic thing that I was talking about? The animated
Yeah, I didn't realize there
Ozempic
was a
thing?
weight loss pill. I'd never heard of that, but apparently you lose
Yeah.
weight. It was supposed to be like a diabetic thing or whatever. I thought that was a great little
Yeah.
animation of it too.
Dude, it was
Although it kind
disturbing.
of made
Dude.
me, I was looking at it, kind of going like, "Look, Papa, me, you're fat though. You probably should lose weight. It's not really that big a deal to tell somebody they need to lose weight when they really do."
Right, right. Let's see, where was it at? But yeah, apparently he must have taken it down because I could not find his original video anywhere.
Oh, I'm sure
Like, I had to
somebody
go with
got
the-
really mad about it and fucking had to
Yeah.
pull it down.
No,
I
could
was
see-
watching Gundam's thing, and I did not know this. Gundam has to run his video by somebody at YouTube before he puts it up every time.
Yes, I heard that. Every
That's
joke.
insane. That right there
Yeah.
should nullify their fucking non-publisher clause.
Yeah, that's some bullshit.
Where
Yeah,
literally
especially when he
they get to decide on every single joke whether or not he gets to tell the joke. That should
Yeah, that's
absolutely
cool.
fucking nullify their clause that where they're like, "Oh, we're not publishers."
Yeah, it was funny because apparently he did bring up Ethan Klein to that. Fucking foul out of pocket shit. But he's too popular to not, you know what I mean? They're not going to fuck with him because he's just too fucking, you know, too
Well,
popular.
I think Gundam is absolutely correct when he says that YouTube is deliberately keeping him from being very successful.
Yeah, I think he's too edgy or something. Yeah.
Oh, I think they're deliberately preventing people from coming across him. Like, I think they're keeping his channel small intentionally.
Yeah, because he's fucking pretty fucking entertaining, dude. For him not to be growing at all is very odd.
Exactly. Even if it was just small growth, there would be some growth. So I think they're
Yeah, if I was
deliberately keeping his stuff out of other people's mentions.
If I was him, I would literally talk about just to call him a horse fucking pedophile and see what YouTube does with that. Since that's exactly what
Ethan
protect
said. I mean, that's the kind of sick shit that these lefties do, man.
But I'm wondering if they would fuck with Gundam.
There's a certain amount of people like that in every movement, unfortunately. And too many of these little pieces of pedophiles are working in like YouTube, you know?
No. I think you're missing what I'm saying.
Oh.
I'm saying because Ethan said that multiple times when he was talking about Vaj. He literally referred to Vaj as a horse fucking pedophile.
If Gundam said the same thing that Ethan said, essentially, what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they would tell Gundam he couldn't say exactly the same thing that Ethan said multiple times. When he was talking about Vaj. Yeah, it would be interesting. I think I'm going to comment that and see if he goes with it. Yeah, because again, accurate. Yeah, a horse fucking pedophile is not an inaccurate thing to say about Vaj in my.
No, he is.
He's definitely talked about. Yeah, he would love to be. He would love to be a horse fucking a woman, apparently, or have a horse cock at least.
Yeah, that's a real weird one.
Yeah. Like, I'm really thankful that I don't have any kind of weird fucking kinks like that, man.
Yeah, that is one of those things where it's like, how did you get like that kink? That's just fucking bizarre.
Yeah, that's very odd. Why do you want to be a horse? Why do you want a fucking horse cock? Yeah, that would be an interesting one to dig in. I think he's.
You know what? If
You know
somebody
what I mean?
were to say, "I wish my dick was as big as a horse's dick," I think that would be like, "Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
that's
I
fine.
get it. You want to have a giant dick, whatever." Everyone says that, haha. But
Right.
yeah, but it gets weird when you're like, "I want to have a horse's dick." When you actually are like it's not the one that's the same size. You want an actual horse penis. That's weird. And that you want it for the express purpose of banging somebody else with it is real weird too.
I assume you would prefer to be a centaur and be able to fuck women as like a centaur.
Oh god, have you seen the ads? There's like a fucking, you know, like those weird AI things. Like
you're gonna have to be more specific.
Like there's all those new AI games on your cell phone. that are like
Yeah.
kinky
Oh, right.
little things or whatever, like the weird sex stuff. Like that one kid killed himself over it.
Yeah. The AI boyfriend, girlfriend, different skins
Yeah.
of.
There's one where it's all animal people, but they're
Wow.
like girls, like hot girl will put on like a set of cat ears and like a black dress, and she's a cat. Maybe pins like a little
Right.
tail to the back of the dress or something. This
Yeah.
isn't like that. It isn't like furry where it looks like they're wearing like a fucking mascot outfit. This is like weird walking, talking animals that look very much still like animals. It's so fucking creepy. And it's like
Yeah.
that shouldn't be advertised on fucking YouTube. You know what I mean? Like that's drastically inappropriate. That is zoophilia.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah, that's
fucking
fucking gross.
zoophilia being advertised on fucking YouTube. And YouTube is telling people like Gundam, "Oh, don't make jokes about people on the left. That's not okay." Like, and this
Yeah,
is the
that's
company that literally has zoophilia advertised on its fucking videos.
Mm. Yeah. That reminds me, I never got an answer rating on a 1 to 10. Where are you ranking that bitch?
Oh, fucking, I don't remember, but 0.
Yeah, I just posted another one, dude. Right. In case you missed it, if you needed a refresher. I'm like, God damn, dude. Like, you look at Frogan, like, she's obviously morbidly obese and gross, but, like, if she was thin, she'd be a decent-looking chick.
Well,
But this
the
bitch...
thing is, these left wing chicks, like I mean, they're a 0 because their personality is abhorrent. They could look and
Yeah.
they could, like, what's
Yeah.
that chick that
Frogan for sure.
Denims or something?
Oh, yeah, Denims.
Like,
Yeah.
I find her
that one's
I find
cool.
her to be a 0 as well.
Yeah. Great set of tits, but yeah, I could not get past any kind of
No, it's
fucking
a personality.
interaction.
It's just
with her.
fucking
Yeah.
I couldn't deal with it.
Yeah, it's like hateful and exceptionally stupid. Like, it's a horrible combination.
Oh god, yeah, hateful and stupid is just definitely not a fun plan.
Like, exceptionally stupid. Like,
But
seriously...
Frogan wouldn't be so bad if she was a decent person. I think people would have an entirely different view of how attractive they found her. Because to me, the vast majority of what makes me attracted to her and unattracted to somebody is just like how fun they are to be around and talk with.
Yeah.
You know, like if somebody's a lot of fun to hang out with, I can overlook. I'm not a fucking 10 out of 10 by anybody's fucking imagination.
Yeah. No, there's definitely, yeah. No, like the girls that I didn't pursue relationships with that I wish I did are, the least attractive ones. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they were just fucking cool to fucking talk with and hang out with.
Yeah. Later on down the line, you realize, oh man, if only I'd spent time with this chick instead of the ones I did, my life might have been a lot happier. There's that song.
Yeah,
that song, if you want to be happy for the rest of your life, never make a pretty woman your wife.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you've heard that song.
Wise word. Indeed.
Yeah, wiser words were never spoken, man.
Yeah, it's like having a really hot chick and getting like pissed that guys are checking her out when you're...
Yeah, I don't, the thing to me is, it's like, look, if somebody's going to cheat on you, they're going to cheat on you. There's literally nothing you can fucking do.
Yeah.
Like, whether you could drive off every motherfucker that comes up to hit her up while you're hanging out with her that you want, and it's never going to matter.
Yeah.
If she wants to cheat
if they're going to cheat, they're going to find a way.
It's like it's like the thing that a lot of people don't seem to fucking understand about relationships and pursuing relationships, whether it be romantic or just a friendship or whatever, is if somebody wants to hang out with you, they'll figure out a time. If you're trying to get somebody to hang out with you and they're constantly finding they're constantly not able to because of whatever, at a certain point you just need to accept that person just doesn't want to hang out with you, man. Whether it's a chick that doesn't want to date you, a guy that doesn't want to date you, or somebody that just doesn't want to hang out and be friends. Sometimes you just have to accept that, like, nah, that person just doesn't want to fucking spend time.
Yeah.
It's like the fuck. I forgot what channel it was, but there was a series of this channel that did like a series of videos about like a guy being in love with his best friend who's not interested in him at all, but then like he gets a girlfriend, and then the fucking chick that had absolutely no interest in him ever is
Oh
like
yeah,
losing her
I've
fucking
heard
mind.
stories like
Yeah,
that. Maybe this
yeah.
exact
But this
story, but
one
I've
was
also
actually
heard
realistic
so
about it.
many of them that it's like, yeah, that's fucking
Yeah.
sad. The really sad thing is when the guy doesn't get it and goes for the chick that didn't have
Mhm.
time for him, even though
Yeah,
like she
dude.
obviously doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. No, that series is exactly that. Because literally at one point she's like, "No, I'm really in love with you." Yeah, and then she's like, "All right, but you got to go break up with your girlfriend first." And he's literally like, "Okay." This girl that he was actually liked him and all that shit. And he's over there at the house, like trying to work up the courage to test him. And then the girl that's been fucking, just using him as an emotional tampon the whole time, like comes in and like fucking like kind of blurts it out. And then after
The fucking
yeah,
mayhem that's released by that.
yeah, yeah, and then she's just like, yeah, I'm just not in the mood anymore. That really, like, so yeah, that bitch just left you for good. The one that actually loved you. And now she's like, oh no, we're no longer gonna
I
fuck,
think
and we're
I
gonna go
think at
right
a
back to the
certain
place.
point I would blame myself to a certain extent about
Oh
that,
yeah,
but I would also
absolutely.
strangle the bitch.
Yeah,
Like I
dude, it
think
would
I
be
would just
really tough.
fucking choke her out at that point. Honestly, I genuinely I think I might go that far at that point. Be like, all right,
Yeah,
well your corpse is gonna be in a grate,
yeah, it
you
would never happen to
fucking
begin with, but yeah,
cunt.
if it got to that point,
No, I wouldn't. I
I'd
wouldn't
be
be in
like,
that
no,
situation in
fuck
the
you,
first
bitch.
place myself.
Yeah.
I have a natural resistance because I got used as emotional tampon once when I was like 20.
Mm. Right,
Like
right.
19 to 20, there was this chick I worked with who was just flirting with me every day. But she's married, right? And then she fucking has a kid and all that shit. And she's constantly flirting with me. And then when I start to
Mm.
return it, it gets shut down. And,
Yeah,
and
wow.
and I was lucky enough, the
Gotcha.
guy that was half Filipino, I was lucky enough, I asked him, like, dude, am I fucking crazy or is this bitch flirting with me constantly? And he's like, yeah, it's fucked up because she's clearly just using you. Like,
Yeah,
you're the
yeah.
person
But
she
thanks for
actually
being
has,
honest.
like, an emotional connection with and, like, she likes
Yeah, that her
talking with you and
boyfriend's
spending
not
time
here.
with you. She was in an arranged marriage. Like, she was from Cambodia. It was like,
Oh,
her
damn.
family arranged with her husband's family because he'd already become an American citizen, and her family and his
Oh,
family
right.
arranged for them to get married so she could come over and also be a citizen.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
And she was like, she was just bound and determined to stay with him, and that was going to be what it was. She didn't even know what an orgasm was, and she had a kid.
That's fucked up.
Like one of the other ladies that we worked with, who was actually a pretty good friend of mine, told me later that she had explained it, and she was still like, "Oh, I've never had that." And I was
Wow.
just like, "Damn, that's fucking dark." But at a certain point, I just stopped hanging out with her because I finally realized, like, this guy telling me and my other friends telling me shit, and eventually it got through to my head that, like, oh yeah, this person's just using you as an emotional, like, crutch. And there was this chick I worked with again later on down the line that was trying to do the same thing, and I stopped hanging out with her. She actually cried when I said, like, you know what, I think we should just stay professional and not hang out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like, but you were never going to give me, like, a relationship out of
Yeah.
this. You were using me for all the things you could get from a relationship with a guy,
Yeah.
except for the
Yeah, that their
sex and
husband.
except for the physical aspect of it.
Yeah. 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 So the husband, all the shit her husband wasn't doing.
Yeah. Oh, it was two separate
I gotta
girls. The one girl was single.
Oh,
She
gotcha.
would go off and
Yeah.
have flings every now and
That's
again, but she
worse.
wanted to have me there to be like this emotional, like, crutch for everything. So
All
it
right.
was,
Maybe you shouldn't watch that Friend Zone series. That might bring back too many painful memories.
no, I don't mind. I was happy because I figured it out way faster the second time than I did the first time.
Right.
I was
Right.
like,
Yeah.
oh,
Once you
I know
finally
what
get hip
this
to
is.
that,
I need to
you're
just
like,
stop
okay.
hanging out with you, and we need to just be professional and be like, we can be friends
Yeah.
at work, but we're not going to hang out and stuff after work.
Yeah. I hear you. Yeah, once it happens to you once, yeah, it's very easy
Yeah,
to recognize.
the first time it took me forever, and I got used pretty badly for a long time. But the second time it was
Yeah.
like, like
Oh,
6
I've
months
seen this
instead of a
before.
couple of years of working with this person, and eventually I was just
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, you and me are never gonna be a couple. We're done.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like the BPD. For me, it's the BPD shit. Now I recognize that in chicks way fucking
Oh
easier.
yeah. Well, that
Yeah.
was the thing. The one I was interested in, like she would go off and have like these flings, like these one night stands with dudes.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, it's exactly what Taylor the Fiend. That's what all his videos are. It's pretty much exactly that, talking about how they want to date the bad, they want to fucking fuck the bad boys, but the bad boys are the Chads, the top 10%, whatever way you want to phrase it, or
Yeah,
whatever
and they're not
type.
going to get locked down, so they want all the emotional
Yeah.
things that they would get out of a relationship from you.
Yeah, definitely a lot of that shit going on.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, after they've been run through by all the Chads that just fucked them and did pump and dump. They're like, oh, I'm 30 now and I'm losing my looks. I better try to fucking lock down a guy that I'm not really all that attracted to. And probably still cheat on him constantly.
Oh yeah, 100%. It never ends, man. That kind of shit never ends with those chicks.
Yeah. Dude, there's so many stories of fucking women that, like, I guess it's, it's one thing if they're just cheating and, like, get divorced if you get caught, but women seem to be much more likely to have their husbands killed than vice versa.
I don't understand that. Like, I don't understand the whole murder your spouse thing anyway.
Yeah.
Like, because, divorces are messy and painful and emotionally draining and all that shit, but you don't go to prison for a divorce, man.
Yeah.
And also,
I can understand
I'm just not interested in killing people,
Yeah. No, I've definitely been at points where I think I'm actually going to kill this bitch. And they didn't, not, I'm like his wanting to kill the kid that had DDoS in him. I never got into any kind of planning stages, but there were definitely moments where, like, I think I'm going to kill this bitch.
Oh, yeah. You haven't been in a real relationship if at no point have you bought, like, fucking trash bags and a shovel.
Yeah, I never even got that far. Just fantasizing it kind of worked. Kind of worked for me, just imagining choking the life out of this bitch.
Well, you were with a fucking BPD person. That's fucking awful.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Almost a fucking decade, man.
That is like a nightmare of like epic proportions. Honestly, I have a hard time thinking of something that would be worse.
Yeah. Well, it would suck because again, normally what brought me back wasn't seeing the kids every day, that kind of shit. Because I knew the pattern, by the end, the last few years at least, I knew the fucking pattern.
Yep.
She's gonna treat me like shit. I'm gonna fucking leave for whatever amount of fucking time. When I come back, she'll behave for like 2, maybe 3 weeks if I'm lucky, and it's right back to the same shit.
Every fucking time. Every fucking time.
So many goddamn times, dude. Jesus, dude. Until finally I'm like, all right. Well, I also was unfamiliar with, BPD and all that shit. Like, I thought there was a possibility of change. Like, she might fucking mature eventually.
Yeah. And that's just never gonna happen. Oh, that's rough. Yeah.
My guy's like 3 or 4 years younger. She might, finally, she's gotta mature eventually, right?
One of these days,
like, then my doctor
how
told
wonderful I am, and it'll all be better. It's like not fucking likely.
Yeah, like I said, that's when my doctor told me about that shit, and then I looked into it, and I'm like, oh.
My doctor told me about my Lanta.
Yeah, once I did that, I looked into it, I'm okay. Yeah, because again, not knowing about that shit, I'm like, wow, she's incredibly stubborn. She just refuses to admit where she was wrong. And then now I'm like, oh, she doesn't know.
She'll never admit to being wrong because she delusionally thinks she's correct.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the part that I really struggled with is she actually believes her own bullshit.
Yeah,
And I was like, she
it's
has to just be
crazy when you
incredibly
finally realize
stubborn.
that.
Yeah, because
I didn't have anything
it's a hard
quite as bad
mindset.
as what you're talking about,
Mhm.
but like my dad was super fucking like emotionally abusive when I was growing up, and I had that
Yeah,
moment where I realized, oh, this isn't anything to do with me when I was in like probably almost out of high school. And I realized that
yeah,
all of his shit, all of his abusive comments and horrible things that he would say are really just
yeah,
shit he feels about himself. He's just projecting it onto me
yeah,
because I'm an easy
yeah,
target, and he's a fucking depressed, and he's an alcoholic and
yeah.
shit.
He's miserable, and yeah, he's gonna take it up
Yeah,
thing. Yeah, and
and
not even
it was
necessarily
just like,
everybody,
but
but
when you
somebody.
realize that, it's like this weight off of your shoulders almost though, where you kind of realize
Yeah,
like, yeah, I have this
yeah,
emotional connection to this person, and I always will, for whatever reason. But
right.
nothing that's going
Yeah,
on and none of this abuse and horrible things has anything to do with me at all.
yeah, yeah. It's his own hang-ups and insecurities and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. It's a rough one because it's hard to understand that mindset. Like I can empathize with fucking all kinds of mindsets.
Yeah.
But that thing where you genuinely believe your own fucking nonsense is a hard thing to imagine.
Yeah, it gets crazy, man. That is one of those
Yeah,
things that like is just so brutal.
yeah, yeah. Like it's unfortunate. And it's fucking you feel bad for him to a certain extent. But I'm like, yeah. Once I realized I can't, I can't fucking stay with this shit. You know
Yep.
what I mean? Like she's never gonna. In fact, it was said the last time I had left, finally left for good. We were actually staying with her nana, with her grandmother. And like I went to tell them, like I think my ex had gone to Tucson or whatever for a couple of days, and I was leaving like right before she got back, just so I didn't have to deal with her fucking, trying to keep me there or whatever. And I went and I told like her nana and tata, I'm like, look, I'm leaving. I can't take this anymore. And she's like, good for you. She's never gonna change. And I was like,
Oh
God
no.
damn, dude. And from a dude, yeah, I don't know how familiar you are with Hispanic families, but they're not great at recognizing the
Oh
faults
no
of
no
their
no no
own.
no. Their babies are all perfect.
Yeah. So yeah, as soon as I heard that, I'm like, yeah, I was already kind of good. All right.
I have like an
I
honorary
gotta imagine
abuela.
shit.
Like I don't know if you know that.
Yeah. Oh, I've got a few now at this point.
Yeah.
I've got about three honorary Mexican families.
Yeah, my cousin Nathan, he's married to a Mexican lady, so I'm part of a big Mexican family because that's just how that works.
Oh yeah,
Like, it
absolutely.
doesn't matter how
Mhm.
distant the relationship, what color your skin is.
Yeah.
If part of your family is part of their family, then you're all family. And it's funny
Yeah.
because it goes the other way because that part of the family is also Irish, which are basically the same thing. Where it's like, oh no,
Yeah.
you married into the family. We're all family now. You're stuck with us, motherfucker. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I know. One guy worked somewhere was talking about how like yeah, even after he had broken up or whatever. I guess his ex would get mad at her family, like, why are you still being friends with him? And they're like, you brought him into the family? Like, he's part of the family now. Yeah, we're
yeah,
not
that
kicking
doesn't
him
just
out.
go away because you got mad and dumped him or whatever. It's too late.
Yeah, yeah. So I was like, yeah, it's funny. It's fucking funny, dude. Because, yeah, I was definitely worried about that because I'm like, fuck, man. Yeah, because they definitely got some crazy fucks, dude. But pretty much all of them were still fucking cool with me, dude, after the fact.
Oh yeah. I think when at a certain point you realize like for instance like one of my cousin's kids is like he literally has fuck the police tattooed to his head. So like at a certain point
Right.
people realize like he's always gonna have trouble with the police. He's never gonna go for very long without going
Yeah.
back to prison. He just can't fucking handle not doing meth.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's quite a few in her family, dudes that have, uh, definitely, definitely a lot of felons, a lot of dudes that
Oh
have
my
fucking
god.
spent time. For,
Fucking last night in VR chat, right? I made a joke about like being stoned a lot of the time. And
Mhm.
I didn't realize this person was 17 before, but like I looked after they started trying to talk to me about drugs, and their profile said they were 17, and she immediately was like, "Oh, like cocaine or meth or like heroin? Like which one are you into?"
God damn, dude.
And I was
Jesus.
just like, "Jesus fucking Christ!"
Fucking relax.
She
bitch.
was like, "I
God
see
damn.
your profile says you're old stoner, you're like into drugs. Like what kind of drugs do? You like those? You like these?" I was just like, "Okay, you're too
Yeah.
excited. This is sad because your
Right.
life is gonna be shit." Like
Yeah.
I can tell a junkie when I hear one. Like that's brutal.
Oh shit. Yeah.
And you're 17,
Yeah.
so not a damn thing I can say about it is ever gonna change anything. Like
Oh
I
yeah.
can't.
No, especially at that age. Fuck no.
I wish there was
they've
some
got the
sort
whole
of
world
wisdom
figured
I could
out.
impart, and she would
Yeah.
be like, "Oh, I should stop doing drugs and clean up and not fuck with this because it's might be fine now, but it's not going to be fine forever." Nah, there's not a goddamn thing in the world I can say that's going to even make a little bit of difference there. Sad,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. All 17-year-olds. Yeah, it's one of the most frustrating thing about being a parent. Kids cannot learn from your mistakes. You can tell them fucking a million times, like why not to do this or what, any kind of shit. And it's just they're for the vast majority of it, they have to fuck up on their own. They have to experience it themselves to learn it.
Yeah,
man.
and
again,
it's tough
obviously, we
because
did it
you
to
as a
our
parent
parents
have
and
to like
fucking-
sometimes kind of fucking help that process along.
Yeah,
And be
yeah.
like,
it's
oh
a-
yeah,
it's a-
no,
it's
you
a
should
tough thing.
definitely try that out. Do it for sure.
Yeah, good luck with that, buddy. Yeah, let me know how it goes for you. I can tell you how it went for me, but
You're not
just
going to
be wasting
listen
my breath.
because it's
Yeah.
a waste of time.
Because you're 17 and you have the entire world figured out, just like I did
Yep,
when I was 17.
yep. I actually didn't do too bad for the most part.
Yeah, I didn't get any major trouble.
Yeah, I was pretty much all. I got into like a couple little trouble things here and there, but nothing legal
Yeah.
that would have fucking like ruined my life or anything like that.
Actually, my son didn't really give me any kind of trouble like that. Now that I think about it, yeah, very rarely had any.
Yeah, I think we got me and my friends snuck out of my friend. Like went over and stayed the night at my friend's trailer because he lived in a trailer park, and we like all slept out on like essentially on his fucking porch in the middle of summer. And it was pretty cool, but we decided to go sneak out at like 3 in the morning because we're all hopped up on fucking caffeine and sugar and all that shit, and go play some basketball on the fucking basketball court at 4 in the morning. And
Right.
some fucking loser security guard found us. Well, he didn't find us. My friends are retarded. Because we were hiding behind some bushes, like laying on the ground where he was like searching with a searchlight, and they just jumped up and ran.
Wow.
Like he hadn't
Really?
even gotten out of his car. He wasn't like concentrating on any area with the light. He clearly hadn't. He knew somebody was around. He didn't know where we were, and he probably was just going to give up and go home in a minute. Like you could just kind of tell
Right.
from the tone of voice.
Yeah.
And they just like
Yeah.
freaked out, got up and bolted like fucking rabbits. And I'm like, you guys realize, like afterwards, I'm like, you guys realize if you just laid the fuck down, we would have been fine, right? Like you guys are idiots.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you don't realize
you guys are in
that
serious
that's-
trouble and you're grounded for like 6 months. You only blame yourself. Don't fucking come to me whining.
Yeah, it's like they don't. Yeah, you don't realize as a kid that whoever that security guard is probably doesn't really get.
Oh no, I
Give
did.
it
I realized there's no way that
Yeah.
that fucker's getting out of his car unless he absolutely knows we're here, and he doesn't know we're here. I don't think he gives a shit.
Yeah.
He's just driving around looking at stuff. You know?
Yeah, your friends apparently didn't understand that about people yet.
Yeah.
That he's a security guard and probably doesn't care all that much.
Yeah, and it's a cold night, and he doesn't want to get out of his car and look around and shit. And he can't see us from where he's at, so there's very little chance he's gonna fucking bother to come over and look closer. And if he does, then we can run then. We would have gotten away with it too. And the funny thing was, I didn't actually get in trouble for that one though.
Nice.
My parents came and picked me up the next morning, and they got a whole fucking talk from his mom, and she was all mad, and they're like, oh yeah, he's in a lot of trouble, and blah, blah, blah. And then when we were driving home, I'm like, yeah, we were just playing some basketball. It wasn't that big of a deal. You know, I'm sure you guys like
Right.
did shit like that when you were kids, and they like started laughing and telling me all the stories that they got up to. And then after like
Nice.
they both told me a couple of different stories of them sneaking out, they were like, "Shit."
Mm-hmm.
They're like, "Well,
I
we
guess it's
can't
nothing.
fucking ground you now. We just fucking
Sounds like you have a couple dumbasses friends.
yeah." That's kind of
That's
the
unfortunate.
consensus there. They didn't say that
Uh,
in that many words because you know you don't
yeah,
as a
yeah.
parent you're not going to say that, but it
Yeah.
was pretty
But yeah, at the
clear.
same time, as a parent, if you're like, oh, okay, so you got busted for sneaking in to play basketball,
Yeah,
okay,
they were
that is
like, you
very
weren't
low.
breaking into anywhere, you weren't damaging property, you weren't stealing shit. Like,
Yeah, yeah, you're not robbing and stealing shit.
it was like, it could have been a
Yeah,
lot
yeah, it's
worse.
very tame. Yeah, as far as getting in trouble, that's more than acceptable.
Oh, yeah, they thought it was
Trouble.
pretty funny. And I'd already snuck out a
Yeah.
bunch of other times, like in my own neighborhood, like at that point. So it's not like, that was certainly not my first time.
Mm,
And I realized, like, you realize pretty quickly when you start sneaking out, like, nobody gives a shit. As long as you're
right.
not stealing, trespassing,
Yeah.
or making a lot of noise and waking them up when they gotta go to work.
Yeah, that's a good point. Most parents just don't want you to fucking cause them additional hassles.
Well, and most people just in general. Like, you're walking down
Yeah.
the street, don't be, like, making a bunch of loud fucking noise, you know? It's 2 in the morning.
Yeah. Don't be a dick.
Eh.
That's all you want. Don't cause me any additional trouble. Don't be
Don't
an
sneak
asshole.
into that guy's yard. Don't fucking cut through somebody's backyard or some shit like that, you know?
Yeah. Keep any of your mayhem to acceptable levels if you can. But yeah, I'm starting to think the only issue was that one time when he screenshotted his friend's message or whatever, talking shit about the whatever bitch had come in to do with stupid DEI type talk.
Oh,
At
yeah,
his,
yeah, yeah. That shit was funny, though. That blows my mind. This the dumb shit that people
yeah.
investigate. Like, really? You actually thought that mattered? Come on
Well,
now.
I mean, I don't know. I get why they kind of have to, you know, with all those school shootings and that kind of shit. So I get why they kind of. But yeah, I mean, I could tell the cop he didn't fucking think it was a serious thing. You know what I mean? But I get why they kind of have to at least check, just because of what has happened, schools and that kind of shit. But yeah, I don't think anybody thought it was an actual serious threat, other than whatever one person decided to report it.
Yeah.
Whoever that fucking retarded bitch is.
Oh, yeah. There's always that fucking asshole.
Yeah, because I don't remember exactly what the essentially. Pretty much anyone who would have run it. This bitch sucks. They said, you know, this bitch needs to die, or this, you know, hope this bitch drops dead, or something along those lines. Like, it wasn't an actual call to murder this bitch. It was, she fucking sucks. I'm kind of hoping she drops dead, but you know, not really.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was hyperbolic or
I've
whatever.
done
And again,
worse. I've done worse when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, what was it?
Yeah,
in
the way it
there?
was phrased, I understood why they had to investigate it. Even though it was almost, you know, like 99%, you know, just a kid, you know, saying some stupid shit and phrasing it poorly. Instead of just saying, like, I fucking hate this bitch and I wish I didn't have to listen to her. he phrased it as, this bitch needs to drop dead or whatever. So like I said, I understood why you have to investigate it, just because of, again, what has with that kind of shit. Because again, you don't want to ignore that, and it turns out the kid was serious, as unlikely as that is.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, but that woman is, to my knowledge, still alive to this day. I have not heard anything to the contrary, so I think she made it up.
I hope
She
so.
might have lost her job recently with all the DEI shit getting shit canned. Because it was that kind of speech, apparently. It was some stupid fucking DEI bullshit.
Oh god,
Yeah,
yeah. Is there anything worse, man?
dude. Yeah. Yeah, at least here, like, there wasn't a... while my son was in school, not like it would be like where in California or, that kind of shit. But Arizona was pretty immune to that. So I felt fortunate that he wasn't subjected to a whole lot of that nonsense.
Yeah, it's got to be worse, man. I mean, I had like that one training where I work where it was what were they fucking doing? It was like they were talking about transgender shit, and it was so dumb because it was what were they doing? They were telling us that you could just switch it back and forth, like you could get surgery and just switch it back and
like
forth.
the gender fluid. Oh wow. Okay, I thought you meant like gender fluid. Like one day you might feel like a man.
Well, yeah, no. One of the ladies was one of
saying
those
they could actually
lunatics who
switch.
like was claiming to be like
gender fluid.
fluid in that respect, where she could just flip flop whenever, and she would periodically throughout the training stop to like inform us of whatever ridiculous nonsense gender she was now. Many of which are not real genders, like there's,
right.
We all know there's like two of them and that's it. Like if you're
I don't want
to
have
there's two of them and that's all there is. Sorry, like I'm sorry you may want it to be otherwise, but it never will be. So
try developing a personality instead of using this as a substitute for your personality. Why don't you go ahead and just develop an authentic personality for yourself?
Yeah.
Probably find it much more rewarding than claiming you're a different gender every fucking day.
Yeah, you would hope.
Because that really does seem like what that is. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Please find me interesting because I'm a boy today and a girl tomorrow. So isn't that interesting?
Fucking
aren't I so interesting?
It's the most obnoxious shit in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, if it doesn't affect our interactions at all, I don't care what you're feeling like at any particular moment, lady.
Well, also, like, how
guy.
many conversations do you have with anybody where that's ever come up?
Yeah. Yeah, and even if somebody is genuinely that, which I assume that does exist, I guess, you don't need to fucking hear about it all the fucking time.
Well,
if I'm not asking, I probably don't care.
If you randomly changed species, I don't really fucking care.
Right.
Like, I'm sure it would be interesting, like, for about, I don't know, 20 minutes before it'd be like, all right, can we talk about anything else? Like,
yeah.
Like, obviously, this is a thing that's just going to keep happening, so can you just shut the fuck up and talk about something interesting? Because this is boring now.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's fucking obnoxious, dude.
And the thing that got me was the gender fluid person was clearly just looking for attention.
Yeah.
Like, it was really
that's generally what it is. Oh yeah, dude, if you hear Diorio and them talk about Bo Black, he was one of the guys that was in their crew that has gotten into that fucking that shit. Like, he freaked out on Diorio about, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 months ago or whatever. Because apparently he claimed, like, the whole time he was non-binary or whatever. And just went, lost his fucking mind at some point. To where they don't even bother interacting with him. And then he turned out to... he claims non-binary, but, like, the way he's describing it, I think he believes trans and non-binary are the same thing. And I'm pretty sure they're not.
I don't know anymore. It's all so fucking dumb and gobbledygook anyway.
But yeah, it's fucking weird. Like, apparently, Augie is another one of the commentary guys. Apparently, he disappeared for like a year.
and then just came back with like a few months ago. Actually, when the shit happened between Diorio and Boblax is when he came back, because Boblax was spewing all kinds of fucking bullshit, and yeah, then he came back just to fucking take care of that. But anyways, yeah, his friend Connor, who he does the show with, I don't know if I've shared anything from him. Yeah, Augie RFC. I don't think I've shared anything from him, but him and Diorio are pretty close buddies or whatever. The guy Connor that Augie does a show with, back when all that shit was going down, that Boblack guy sent him a pic of him in a dress, a couple pics of him like in a dress, like pretty much unprompted.
That's a weird one.
Yeah, Boblax is fucking nuts, dude. Do you know who Tipster is?
No.
Yeah, he's one of the commentary guys. Big fat. I think he's Mexican. He's a really fat Mexican dude. But yeah, like Boblax, like for apparently like a full year straight after Tipster kind of, I guess he turned his back or whatever, or disavowed the commentary guys. Boblax did like a year straight of what he called bully streams, where he would just make fun of whatever Tipster happened to do or say that day. And then now it's kind of turned around on him, and he's not handling it particularly well. But it's crazy because he tried to like fucking befriend Tipster again after doing like a year straight of just fucking clowning on him.
Wow.
And like to the point where Tipster had to put out a video, like, yeah, no, great, I support you and your fucking, you know, your whatever identity, but yeah, we're never going to be cool again. Like, you treated me like shit for a fucking year. Like, am I just supposed to forget that because you're fucking non-binary now? Like, no, fuck you.
Oh, I hate that. I hate the when the people use it as an excuse. It's like autism.
Yeah.
Or
At one point, he had claimed when he had kind of gone off. Yeah. What?
You have ADHD or is it just bipolar?
None of it's diagnosed, but I believe I have both.
Yeah, because that's one of the things my mom uses as an excuse for when my brother can't, like, you know, pick up the trash. He'll order fast food and just leave the trash on the counter when he gets it out and puts it on a plate. Or, like, leave the lights on and just doesn't turn them off anymore. Like, he never used to. And he just started doing that, like, a couple months ago. And,
wow.
She's like, oh, he's just ADHD. And it's like, no, he's being an asshole.
No, he's an asshole. Yeah, it's
not,
weird.
That's not something that ADHD people do to start with. They're not like incapable of turning off a light or picking up their trash.
Yeah, they might have on occasion, but if it's happening all the regular,
it's on a regular basis. Any kind of trash in his hand, he'll just put down wherever. At this point, it's gotten absurd.
Yeah, that's deliberate bullshit, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, this is like deliberate behavior meant to make other people mad. Like, there's no
we have very similar brothers.
Oh, I'm at the point where I'm actually like, he's not taking any responsibility for breaking the stove. He's never apologized. He's not paying for it anyway. And I'm at the point where I'm like, man, if I could figure out how to do it and pull it off, I would 100%
without getting caught.
Sell off all this fucking camera gear and all this fucking 3D printing gear and leave a check for my mom, like, for the fucking money.
Right. Damn.
This asshole can spend thousands of dollars on cameras, but he can't fucking spend $1,700 on a stove he broke. Fuck off, dude.
Yeah. And again, they do all that kind of shit. It's a weird, like, I don't know. They like feel like it makes them important somehow. It's weird. I don't understand the mindset. But my brother does the same kind of fucking childish, fucking petty bullshit. Because he can get away with it, because, you know, Mom, you're on it.
Yeah, she
and it's like they get some kind of
speak up for herself, you know. It's like,
yeah, and it's weird. I'm like, this is so fucking stupid. Like, how do you get any kind of fucking like pleasure out of this? Or fucking
what was it? It's like there's like weird little things where he'll get mad and start throwing like little fits over that make no sense.
Yeah.
Like one time I walk out of the bathroom and I'm going in to like start making my food and I have a chair that I use in the kitchen. It's got wheels so I can roll around when I need to. Because if I can't stand for very long and you gotta like, you know, sit down and make food, you gotta can't
Yeah.
Otherwise, the stuff that you
Yeah.
can make really fast is usually all bad for you. So,
Yeah.
if I'm gonna sit
Yeah,
down and
no,
cut up like an
anytime I'm
apple or
cooking.
a pear or something, it takes a few minutes. I gotta have a chair. But he's
Yeah,
standing
yeah.
there.
Anything I'm cooking that takes any amount of time like that, yeah, my back is like if
Yeah,
it's longer than like if it's like even like 10 minutes, ten
yeah.
minutes or long, yeah, my back is gonna be fucking killing me by the time.
Yeah, so I come out of the
If I'm making
bathroom.
like spaghetti or something, yeah, that's a big one.
Yep. And so I got this chair you can roll around in. It's got like it's just the seat in the back of a chair. And I can roll
Right.
around in it. It's perfect for if I got to sit in there and do like any kind of long-term cooking or like dishes or something. I mean, I get up and put
Yeah.
stuff away and everything all the time. But he's standing there. The chair's pushed into the table. He walks away. I go and pull the chair out and sit down, and he turns around and goes, like, I was sitting in the fucking chair. And it's like, no, you
What the
fucking
fuck?
weren't. You were literally standing there,
Yeah,
not
walking
remotely.
away.
Nothing in any way, shape, or form indicated that you were using that chair for anything. And it's my chair.
Yeah.
There's two other
Yeah,
chairs
what
at
the
the
fuck?
table. If you want to just sit down at the table, go ahead. But that's literally there for my use. Like I don't have a problem
Yeah.
with other people use it. And hey, you know what? Sometimes people need it for something, and I'll just have to wait and whatever. But I know,
Yeah.
they normally are polite and just say,
Just
hey,
being
would
a
you mind
kid.
if I just use this for a little while? And you just wait and get
Yeah.
your food in a little bit, and it's like, oh yeah, I can do that, no problem. No big deal. But it was ridiculous.
Wow.
Or
So
like,
he hadn't even been sitting
my
in
mom
it. Jesus Christ.
orders groceries, and we go pick them up. Like they bring them out to the car.
Right.
Because she doesn't like the consequences of the way she votes. So, like,
Right.
yeah, you vote for all these Democrats, and crime is out of control, so stores have to put like fucking windows and bars over everything, because otherwise they can't operate. Because you can't operate when people steal all your fucking product.
Yeah.
So she doesn't like going to stores anymore. But like the store will just not have like whatever it is he wants sometimes. Like he drinks a lot of like diet soda. I'm like,
Right.
just don't have diet root beer all the time or diet Mountain Dew. Sometimes they're out, and he'll get super pissy about it. Like he's super mad at her. Like it's somehow something to do with her. It's like she ordered it. They just didn't have it. Like nobody did this to you, man.
Yeah.
This is just unfortunate set of circumstances.
Right. Yeah, and dude, getting mad at that at all is fucking. What the fuck?
I mean, I can understand
It was
being
about your
annoyed.
mom.
I can understand being
Yeah.
annoyed, but getting mad at the people that had nothing
Little?
to do with it, it's like that's just weird.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's some conspiracy against him to keep him away from his diet soda or something. Yeah.
It used to be
yeah,
he
it's
would
fucking
get
weird.
pissed off when people would ask, like one of the things he used to like to do all the time was if you ask him for something, like to tell you his plans for something.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
hey, are you gonna eat with us, or should we, not count on you for being here to eat dinner? Well, I don't fucking know. Dude, it's the same day. I'm not asking you to fucking solve some sort of algebraic fucking equation.
Yeah, I'm not asking for your schedule for the next month or something.
Yeah,
What the
I'm asking you, are you coming to dinner tonight? If that's too hard for you to ask, then the answer is no, and fucking figure your own food out, you asshole.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, what the fuck, man? Yeah, it's such an odd.
crazy, man. It's absolutely nutty.
Yeah, I don't fucking get it. But yeah, it does seem like they're so fucking like petty and childish that they take some perverse pleasure
Huh.
in doing stupid petty bullshit. It's fucking bizarre.
Yeah.
Like this doesn't matter in the least. Like you're just being an asshole about something that doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, there's no reason to be upset about what's going on right now. It doesn't make any
Yeah,
sense.
yeah, yeah. They're just going out of their way to be an asshole. Pretty fucking trivial.
Yeah.
And then be like proud of yourself. Like they seem to be. Yeah, it's like seems to be like very self-satisfied when he's being
The
an
number of
asshole.
times my brother has told me stories where he just does some like lunatic shit and is proud of it is
Yeah.
weird, man. Like
Like, are
somebody
we
cuts
sure-
him off at the gas station so he can't get his gas next or whatever. He
Yeah.
gets out and like screams at them and like bangs on their window and like spits on their fucking door and stuff, and it's like, dude, that's not.
And why are you proud of that?
Yeah, like that's not. Yeah, I wouldn't.
I would
I
never
wouldn't be
tell
very
anyone.
proud of that at all. Exactly.
I would hope I never have to. I would be embarrassed.
Yeah, you would think. It's crazy.
But no, they're like I said. It's again. Yeah, it seems like we definitely seem to have the same brother. The only difference is mine's older,
Yeah,
younger.
yeah.
But other than that,
My brother's only 38 right now. So
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, mine's
my
what?
sister is super nice. Like she's super like chill and relaxed for the most part. She just is like a
Mhm.
perpetual child. Like she doesn't. She won't work. She won't like go out and do a lot. There's a lot of stuff she just won't go out and do. It's like like you gotta get a job. You're like fucking 32.
Eesh.
Like even if it's just jockeying a register at the drugstore down the road, like you should be doing something.
Jesus. Yeah, I got a sister like that too, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really. Yeah, well, the mine. Yeah, my sister's oddly judgmental for somebody who hasn't really had to work for anything
Oh
that she's
no.
gotten.
That's always even worse. That like double whammy. My sister's not in that respect. She's actually very nice and polite and friendly with people.
All right, I'm guessing she probably has not spawned 5 bratty ass kids.
No, my sister's
No,
no kids. No,
plus.
there's no chance. I don't think my sister's
Yeah.
ever gonna like. I think my sister will die a virgin.
No, goddamn.
She won't even go to like the fucking. I'm trying to think of the word because I don't want to use the word pussy.
I'm not sure what you're going for.
When you gotta go and have your badge looked at, I forget who they call their
The OBGYN.
Yeah. She won't even go to them.
Gynecologist.
Like, there's no way if she's not even willing to go to a gynecologist, she's never gonna go get laid.
Right. Well, that's a counter blessing, because yeah.
Well, if she had kids, she'd have a source of income. She could get some
My
sort of
sister
like assistance from the government at least.
Right. But yeah, no, my sister, all of her kids are just fucking rats, dude. Like they're all adults at this point. Like the
Oof.
youngest, I think, is what 16 or 17, and will just leave well, she leaves a bunch of dishes in a room, but then when she takes them out, doesn't like clean them off or do anything. Just throws them in the fucking sink and just leaves them there, all fucking.
Oh, my
crusted
brother used
over
to
it.
do this thing where he'd eat like a spoonful of peanut butter, or like 2 or 3 spoonfuls of peanut butter, each one with a different spoon. Thank God. So he at least wasn't double dipping the spoon, because then I just would never eat peanut butter.
Right.
But then like he leaves about, I don't know, half a tablespoon of peanut butter still on the spoon.
Yes, dude.
And then he'll put the spoon in a coffee cup in the sink, but he won't fill the coffee cup with water.
Yeah, dude. Actually, yesterday,
I don't understand. Like, why would you not fill it with water so that it's soaking, so that at least it's easier to clean off, you know?
Yeah. No, actually, yesterday, my sister's still here. All the rest of our adults have moved out or whatever. I left a bowl with peanut butter and Nutella, and there was probably probably at least a half a cup of mixture of peanut butter and Nutella, just all around the bowl, not in one spot, but like just wrapped all
like
around.
smeared around
And
it, like just like super thick on the walls of the bowl. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, and then on the spoon itself, there was a bunch still stuck there, like at least a mouthful there. And just drops it in the sink, doesn't do anything. Like last week sometime, there was some fucking she had a big fork in the room for some reason. And like I go in to put something in the dishwasher, and there's this giant fork with what looks like cobwebs or something hanging off of it in the dishwasher.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I'm like, how do you not know to fucking just quickly wipe that off at the very least? Like, the bitch is almost an adult. It's still doing this shit.
That is weird.
Dude, yeah, I don't get it. Because it's like, you fucking surely have noticed other people do it at least.
or maybe not. Maybe give them too much credit. To be aware of anything outside themselves.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems like you should accidentally notice that kind of shit.
Yeah, it's one of those things that's really strange. Like, it's hard to understand. I don't get it a lot of the time.
Yeah, because like when I cook or do any of that shit, like before I even eat, like actually sit down to eat or whatever, I rinse everything out because I know well, mainly because I know what a pain in the ass it is to clean, try to scrub that shit off later. But yeah, I make it to where all I have to do is essentially just run soap over it real quick, and not have to scrub anything out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I'm like I'm sure she's seen me do that over the years. You'd think it would click in their heads. I go, yeah, maybe I should do that.
You
Because
would
obviously my
think. Yeah,
sister's
yeah.
out.
Like, the logical conclusion is just fairly simple.
But yeah, it's a very odd mixture of they're almost universally very maladjusted, like socially, but incredibly like fucking just an odd fucking delusional sense of like superiority or something, dude. It's very odd.
Yeah.
It's a
No,
very
I
odd
know what you
mixture.
mean.
I'm just like, all right, I'm glad my kid's fucking, you know, respectful and not a complete asshole.
Yeah, I think you raise your kids to be, kind of like yourself in a certain respect.
Yeah, and I could
Yeah.
tell because there were times where like, because I barely pay attention. I don't give a shit about any of my siblings or my fucking nieces or nephews really. At this point, wasn't always like that, but yeah. But there would be times when like her son would say some shit, and I'm like, I'm barely paying attention, and I know that's a fucking lie, and there's no fucking way she doesn't know that's a lie. Whatever he fucking said, I can't mention the specifics at this point, but she just let it go, and I'm like, there's no way she believes that, and like she just can't bring herself to fucking discipline her own kids.
Yeah, my cousins,
Like, I just don't get it.
from what I understand about one of my cousin's kids is turning out like that. And everybody's shocked, and I'm like, do you not remember how much of a fucking bratty piece of shit he was when he was a kid? Like,
But
he's
yeah,
my
it turns
cousin
out,
and I love him, but he was an asshole when he was a fucking teenager. Like,
yeah,
what did you
yeah.
think was going to
No,
happen?
it's the
He's
same
raising
shit.
somebody to be exactly like himself. That's just how that works.
Yeah. No, it's the same shit that I warned my ex about with her son, dude. And I'm like, okay, this is what he's doing now. What do you think he's gonna do as a teenager? Like, what are you gonna do when he's a teenager
Oh, and it gets
and pulling
worse.
this shit? Yeah. And yeah, sure in the fuck, what the fuck happened? Yeah, he's a fucking mess, dude.
Yep. It's
Like, all right, I
sad. It
warned
really
you.
is. It's so
If there
sad
were
how it
times,
goes, man. Because it's like you see
if
the
there were times,
patterns.
like he'd be so disrespectful towards her. And like when I was with, like, yeah, down the line, I would still try to correct it, and she'd like stick up for him. I'm like, all right then, all right, I'll stop, and you're gonna fucking get what you get. And sure enough, he didn't listen to her at all, ever.
Oh, yeah, no, they
And the
never
thing was, he
do.
never. And again, I could have just done nothing to begin with because he didn't try that shit with me. You know what I mean? He didn't
Oh
try to
well,
fucking run his mouth
kids
like
like
that.
that know. They know. They can tell the difference between the way you behave and the way she behaves, and they're like, yeah, I can get away with that with my mom, but this dude, he'll
Yeah,
fucking whoop my ass. Like there ain't no fucking way.
yeah. Well, that was the whole thing, dude. And the thing I kept trying to tell her, like especially when they're real little, like if you say you're going, if you tell them something like, if then I'm going to do this, or I'm going to spank you, or whatever. If they still do it, you fucking need to spank them. You know what I mean? Because
Yep.
again, they fucking knew she would never do what the fuck she's saying she was gonna do, and so they wouldn't fucking bother. Yeah,
100%. You
occasionally, yeah,
cannot make threats that are empty to your kids.
yeah. If you make idle threats, they're just gonna disregard it because they know you're not gonna fucking do it. Although there were a few occasions where she'd get so fed up, you just grab a belt and start whipping them, dude. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? And yeah, because again, when I would find spanking or whatever, like there was one time early on in the when I had him moved in and all that shit, where he was uh I don't know, they had like bunk beds and he was like on the ladder and he was refusing to come down. I'm like, all right, if I count to three and you're not on the ground, I'm going to spank you. So I count to three and he's not on the ground, and I'm like, okay. And then I step for him, and then he immediately jumps down, and I'm like, no, it's too late. I said three and you weren't off, so you're getting spanked.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's
Yeah, and you know
100%
what?
the way you gotta do it.
The more I did it, the less I had to do it. You know what I mean? As soon as they recognized or realized that if I said something, if they did something and I was going to, they knew that is what would happen. Absolutely, what would happen if they did that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with their mom, they didn't. And again, I didn't realize it for a long time that they just really only behaved when I was around.
Oh,
Because I
yeah.
assumed they were, she was actually holding up her end and disciplining them when I wasn't there, and she wasn't.
Oof.
So yeah, they just learned that if I'm home or if I'm around, they can't do shit. But if it's just mom, they can act as fucking, shitty as they always have. That's a big
Yeah.
waste.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's
At
sad.
least my kid has not had any unwanted pregnancies yet that I know of. Unlike her two kids.
Oh, yeah, they're already having a bunch of fucking kids. Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah. Well, at least one each. Yeah, and their
Well, and it's
son's
also
constantly in
sad
there
when they're,
fucking
it's
rehab.
like clearly just because mom didn't raise them right, so they're just getting knocked up left and right.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Yep. So yeah, I was just you realize all the waste and all that shit. You're like, God damn it. Ugh. Yeah.
I can make a bar. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh shit! I bought a hockey game like a couple weeks ago.
Oh, yeah? Nice.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, they're yeah. I don't know. I don't know if it's as fun if you're not into the sport, but it's a really fun. Hockey's a really fun game to play. Um, like far more than football, baseball, or any other game. I think hockey's my favorite video game type of sport to play. What's nice about it is I haven't followed like the NHL, like the professional league, in fucking forever, like I used to, but it's been probably a decade at least. So the nice thing about that is I can go and get NHL 2019 for like $3, and I don't know any of the fucking players, so it doesn't matter. So yeah, I went to GameStop and bought a $3 copy of it, and I've been playing that a lot lately.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm assuming you probably have not played a hockey. I'm pretty safe
I
bet.
have a very, very limited amount of sports games that I've played.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
I've played like a couple baseball games, and I think I played like a football game once. I'm not super
Yeah,
into watching sports, so yeah, I don't think I've ever really enjoyed the sports games very much. Although they're not bad, like I have nothing against them, just not my thing.
yeah, yeah. For whatever reason, the hockey one, as far as sports go, you know what I mean. Football, basketball, baseball is going to rank ahead of them. And but as far as playing the games on video console, hockey is by far the most fun to play.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the shooting and shit. Because the last time I played was Jesus, uh, Sega Saturn. So like when the one that was got destroyed by the original PlayStation back in the day.
Yeah.
I think that's the last time I regularly played a hockey game. So like the shooting and all that has gotten way more advanced. So I'm kind of
Oh,
getting used to that, but it's still pretty fun. Yeah, very satisfying when I actually score a goal. Because yeah, I've not played much, and I'm still pretty bad at it.
Yeah,
the
gotta
button
get that learning
configuration.
curve, gotta concentrate and keep up on it.
Yeah.
At
Yeah,
least,
'cause
at
like a
least when you're
normal-
playing a
yeah.
hockey game, you don't have to worry about somebody else running a fucking software program on the other end of the fucking game.
Right. Yeah, nobody's cheating.
Yeah,
The
I'm
computer's
playing
not.
Stardew Valley a lot right now because I'm just kind of like I need to stop playing FPS games.
Yeah, yeah, it's fucking the rampant cheating. Just
I
takes
mean,
all the fun out of
it
it.
gets so bad, man. It's like anytime you're winning a game, like the second round, like the first half of the game, you're winning and like you're winning hard. Like this team can't play for shit. And then the next half of the game, suddenly they're just these golden gods that never miss a shot and can't get hurt. And it's like,
Yeah.
why? What's the point?
Right.
Yeah,
Pretty
obviously I'm better than this guy. There's just no fucking,
Yeah, suddenly
I'm not
they
gonna
fucking-
use illegal software to fucking to beat him in a game. Whatever. I guess you win,
Yeah.
dude. Good for you. Like whatever.
Yeah, yeah, you bought cheats. It's quite the accomplishment, sir. You cheating prick. Yeah. Or maybe it's the one instance where I remember there was one guy that was super good at the Rocket League game, and he would take over like for his friend, again, like early on in a match. Like so, his friend sucked at it or didn't play it that much, so he was very low ranked. But this guy was like world class, and he would take over for him. Like
So
halfway
that's
through,
actually
kind of
called
fuck with
smurfing.
everybody. Yeah. Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah.
All right.
Smurfing, not only is it a term
I've
for
heard
people
that.
that run stuff for drug dealers, like do like fucking errands, like the guy you get to buy all your fucking Sudafed if you're making meth. Like that's a
Oh,
smurf
right.
in like the parlance of
Okay.
gang members and that kind of stuff. But in video
Yeah.
gaming, if you're actively competing at a level very low compared to what your actual skill level is, it's called smurfing. Too.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think that one was more of just to kind of troll people. Like they would actually.
And actually, there's I've played games against Smurfs, and it's just as frustrating as playing as hackers, but it's totally different. So whereas like the people that are hacking, their play style doesn't change, their positioning is the same, their aim, like all the things that they're doing that were making them lose in the first half of the game are exactly the same in the second half. The only difference is now they just hit you with every single shot right in the face.
Yeah.
And it makes a huge difference. And all the people that like to say that aim isn't the most important part of a game are liars when you're talking about FPS games. Yes, you can offset aim by quite a lot by like positioning and strategy and just knowing the map and where to be and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, if somebody has just like 100% accuracy, they're gonna win most of the time. Because they could be across the map from you, and they're still going to have that 100% accuracy, even though it, in a regular, 1v1, you would have totally ruined their advantage. But smurfing is different. Like you'll play the first half of the game, they'll let you win, and it's like playing bumbling idiots. But then they play the second half of the game, and suddenly their positioning is on point. Their movement, everything they're doing is a whole different kind of play style. And you can tell they're just totally playing a different game entirely. And it's more frustrating because they like to drag out the games against lower level players. Like they're not they like so like there's a one game mode where it's like capture the point and you have to get the first one to 3 points wins. So you can get up to like 5 points, which means the match takes a really long fucking time.
Yeah.
And so they let you win the first 2 points and then fucking dominate for the other 3 points. And it's like, fuck off, dude. I will leave those games after the first point if I figure it out.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're just not sure what's going on.
I assume it's gotta be pretty obvious.
But sometimes it's like, you're suddenly really, really good. It could be either. It could be software or it could be smurfing. It's kind of hard to tell sometimes.
Yeah. Either way, regardless. Yeah, you don't want any part of it. Yeah.
I played against a dude who was playing a character with walls, and that was just infuriating. I left the game after like the third time he killed me because I'm just like, there's no fucking way. Because when you first learn how to play FPS games, you always go to the same place over and over, right? Like you spawn and then you run to the same place and you keep going back thinking it's going to work this time. But like after a while, you realize no, you want to keep going to different places. You never want to show up at the same place. You don't want to just hang out in the same place, because someone will figure out a good way to kill you and then just own you for the rest of the game. So you take different places around the map each time you respawn, and it's like there's no way he could have predicted 3 in a row.
Yeah,
He's
that's fucking
clearly using
ridiculous.
walls.
Yeah.
He can see where everybody is on the map, because not only did he predict 3 in a row of where I was, the second I wasn't with the team is when he would come in and attack. And it's like, well, yeah, he's clearly watching everything through the walls.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think I'll understand the mindset. Like when I was describing it first, like they were doing it like in a, good natured way, like they
Oh yeah,
playing
yeah.
and kind of
And I don't.
And then all
Smurfing
of a sudden,
isn't like the worst thing in the world. Like you improve
Yeah.
when you play against Smurfs. You learn better. You see what
Right,
they're
right.
doing and you learn how to play better on your own character. It's just annoying when it's a really long game and it's a foregone conclusion. It's like they're wasting your time.
Yeah. So like on the one I was talking about, they, what was going on, that they took over halfway through or whatever, and the other players, it's like, oh, you're famous, because it was like somebody that was like known for it, so people didn't really seem to mind all that much. So like, oh, that's cool, I know who you are.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah. It's amazing
people
what
just
people
doing
will
that
forgive
to
if
draw
it's
your
like a
name out.
professional
God
gamer.
Yeah.
Smurfing
Yeah.
is generally looked down upon in like FPS games because it ruins
Yeah,
other
I
people's like when they're
Yeah,
trying
it's
to
in
like
your
find
stats and
rank.
shit. Yeah.
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 But there's like a whole
Yeah, no.
genre of from 0 to highest rank players on like Twitch and YouTube and all that shit, where they'll go in and get a brand new account and take it from the lowest level all the way to the highest rank, and they just do that over and over with different FPS games, and it's like, all right, you're an asshole now, dude. Like you're just using other people as entertainment.
Yeah. That shit, I guess that type of shit's kind of always gone on Smurfing part anyway. It's like in bowling. Like in bowling leagues, you're usually playing 3 games against, your opponent, right?
Yeah.
There are people that would literally, that were really good, that would tank 1 out of the 3 games. So it keeps their average lower or whatever. And then also, like, they're just trying to win 2 of the 3. So they don't. One of them they're not going to care about. They're going to be okay with losing the 1, as long as they win 2 of the 3 games and win the series.
Yeah. Yeah. As long as ultimately they're the victor, that's what matters.
Yeah. They want to keep their average down so they get the pins or whatever. So they'll do 2 great games and 1, pretty shitty game.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like not obviously, like, just not quite, nearly as good as the other 2. Yeah. Which I never really understood that either. I guess as a strategy, it's not the worst thing. Like I kind of get it, but I couldn't see myself doing it. Yeah. Wasn't the best, especially when I was younger. There's no way I'm gonna ever.
It's so like I'm somewhat competitive, but I'm not super competitive, and I think that's the hallmark of somebody who's like really, really competitive. Like they really don't give a shit about anything but being like the highest rank or the best player or whatever. According to like the stats or whatever. Like they're doing it specifically because the only thing that matters to them is being like the highest ranked player or whatever. And it's like, all right, that's good for you.
Yeah, I think
I have better things to do with my time.
Yeah. I think I mostly eliminated that mindset junior high. I think now that I'm thinking back on it, you know what I mean. I realized like, oh, okay, if I play hard and lose, it's fine. I would prefer not to, but I used to be like, fucking, I gotta win. Yeah. But I think I mostly matured out of that by like the end of junior high, pretty much.
Losing is a relative term. Like, just because you didn't win the game doesn't mean you necessarily lost if you learned from it and you can improve.
Yeah. You play hard. That's
that
what matters.
mindset of looking at failure as an opportunity to improve yourself versus looking at failure as just a like you're everything's over. You're
like
the worst.
unacceptable.
Unacceptable. Like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, and learning
Yeah.
not
No.
to blame others for your failures is really important step 2 in that process.
Yeah. Yeah. Or
I
being
see
a
all the
poor
time
leader.
in FPS games when I see like people commenting on videos or talking about things, because I'll watch players will submit their games to various different like YouTubers, and the YouTuber will watch the game and give them advice on what they did right and wrong. And it's like, that's a great way
Mhm.
to improve. You know, you spend 20 minutes every now and again, watch a game and see what that person did wrong and learn, like, oh, I do that. Oh, well, and this guy who's one of the top ranked players is saying what I should have really done in that situation is not been there. I should have been over here doing this other thing. You know? Like,
Mhm.
that's great information. But you see people in the comments like, oh, yeah, but the tank was throwing. There's nothing you can do about that. When the tank throws, you just lose no matter what. And it's like, well, yeah, if that's the way you think, sure.
Mhm.
You know? But
Yeah.
if you're
For sure.
actually sitting there and like you don't have that fear of failure and that mindset of everybody else is at fault, where you're looking at what can I do, that can change games to from losses to wins all the time. You know, like, oh, well, the tank is really bad, so instead of worrying about keeping the tank alive, I'm going to keep the DPS alive, and they'll do enough to offset the losses from the tank, and then you win the game. Maybe not all the time, but more than you would have.
Right.
You know, hey, I'll take
Uh,
4 wins out of 10 that I would have been 10 losses. You know, I'll take one extra win out of 10 that would have all been losses if I can.
Indeed.
Speaking of losses, did you see Tiffany Henyard got a fucking primary 88% to
Oh
12%?
yes, dude. Yes.
The
She
initial
was so
numbers.
confident. It was fucking like she had to know. Like I don't think even she's that delusional. But she was
Yeah, I
talking
don't know
shit
what she was
beforehand.
thinking talking about, because she was talking about she was going to win in a landslide and the people will have spoken. And I'm like, you know
Yeah.
that's not true.
Yeah. I was gonna say I don't think even she's that fucking delusional. I would fucking hope not.
No, I mean she was.
Like,
I think she was just talking talk. You know, the standard sort of like, no, we're gonna win, because you never want to come into a political race talking negative,
nah.
because then less
Yeah,
people
it
will
was
vote for you.
ridiculous. Yeah, I'm wondering what kind of scorched earth shit she's gonna do on the way out. She's not done until March or whatever. You know what I mean? You know,
She can't.
a few more
She can't.
weeks.
The
Oh, they have
council and
kind of
everything
hamstrung
locked
her.
her out
That's
of all
right.
the financial stuff. She can't
That's
touch any more
right.
money.
I forgot about
So
that.
she
That's
can try
right.
to do whatever she
Yeah.
wants to do. She can't actually physically get any of the money to anything. It's
She's
pretty
still.
crazy.
There's another election in April because she's still ahead of the township or whatever.
Yeah, and she's
You know
gonna
what I
get
mean? Remember
ousted
that?
there too, though,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah. She's
sure.
gonna get destroyed there too, but she's still got that one until April. So I'm like, fuck. Is she gonna try to do some squirrely shit there, or is that one
Well, that's
similarly
the one
locked? Is
where
she
she
locked
tried
out
to make it so
similarly?
that the next person who takes the job has like way less money,
Yeah. Yeah. It drops all the way down to the fucking
50,000 instead of 200,000 a year. I think 200,000 a year
yeah.
is ridiculous pay for a politician in office. Period.
Yeah. A local politician. That's
Yeah.
insane.
If
For
it
a
was like the
township
president,
position.
I would be like, okay, I get it, 200,000 a year, that's pretty fair.
Yeah.
Or a congressperson,
Yeah.
that's a reasonable pay for that,
Yeah.
because there's other stuff they got to do besides just live in an expensive area. But
Yeah. Yeah, I remember. Yeah,
for a
president. As
fucking
far
local
as well,
politician
especially when you
in a
look through,
county position, that's absurd.
it's absurd. Yeah, it really is, dude. All right. Yeah, I'm wondering what is the pay for a president now? Because I know it's never
Five
been
hundred
much.
thousand a year, 400,000 a year. It's
Is
one
it
of the two.
500,000? Yeah, I think when I first found out way back in the day, I think it was like 100,000 or something. And I just remember thinking because I kind of knew like how much CEOs and shit made, and I'm like, how the
Well, CEOs
yeah,
used to
like how
only
they
make
make
like 400,000 or 500,000 a year at most, at all. Like a lot of them were
yeah,
making like 200,000 or 300,000 a
yeah,
year. It was the money was
yeah.
all
The
going
fact
to
that
the
they make
people who
hundreds
own
of
shares
millions.
in the company. CEOs
Yeah,
making millions of dollars is only within like the last 5 to 10 years.
yeah, like places like Coca-Cola and that, they're making hundreds of millions a year.
Yeah, but
That's
that's
fucking
crazy
nuts,
because
dude.
CEOs used to only make like, even for Coke, only make like 300,000 or 400,000 a year.
Yeah, Yeah, it's really insane. Yeah, actually kind of surprised, like that all the shareholders of these corporations are okay with that.
Well, what the CEOs
Because
do is
again,
they,
it's
they
obviously
come in and they eliminate a bunch of employees, so the wages they're just taking from other people, and they're putting other people in
oh
a
right,
position
right,
where they have to do 3 or 4
more
persons'
work.
work or get
Yeah,
fired.
yeah.
And it's like jobs are
Like
so
look how
hard to
much
come
money
by
we're
because of
saving.
all the illegals. That like
Yeah,
and that trickles up the as well as it trickles down.
yeah. I wish they would. I really wish they would figure that shit out. Like I know the free market and all that, but I feel like there should be some kind of limits to that shit. Like you're just not
Well,
able to make
there
that
should
much
be a
money in any.
percentage. There should be a minimum percentage
Yeah, or maximum. You mean?
of.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say that all the other employees are paid.
Oh right, right.
Like so,
Yeah, yeah. The
if you
actual
work for
workers.
Coca Cola, there should be a minimum percentage of the profits from Coca Cola that you get paid.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like you help
Yeah, so
bring in
somebody in
those
upper
profits. You
management.
have
But
a
aren't,
fair
yeah,
fair claim on a certain amount of those profits. It's like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like
And again, all the
I mean it's
the
just a
management
bigger
people make
scale
such
of
an outsized percentage.
like mechanics. Mechanics, if you're working as a mechanic and the company you're working for is charging $60 an hour for labor, you should be getting bare minimum $30 out of that 60.
Yeah,
Like that
and
should be
probably
your
should be closer to
starting
40.
point. You should probably be making about 45 if you've been there for a long time.
Yeah, you should probably getting 2/3 of it. Yeah.
Well, because
Mm.
when they bill an hour of labor, the better you are as a mechanic, the less hours it'll take you to actually do the labor they're charging. They might charge 4 hours for like a repair, but you might be able to do it in like 2. So you're making
Right,
them more
right.
money. They're giving you more of a cut of the money you bring in. It's how it's supposed to work. You know, but it's just it's the scales on these the way they're
Batch
doing it in
guys.
these corporations is insane.
I mean,
You know,
yeah, I
it's
feel like the actual production workers should probably get like half. And maybe that's I don't really
the
know the
people that are
specifics.
doing
Maybe
the
that's
actual labor. Yeah, you would think that they
Yeah,
should be getting a
yeah,
very good
yeah,
portion of what they're earning, because
yeah,
it's the most
yeah.
physically taxing and it's the most likely to leave them with injuries and potentially make it impossible for them to work for their whole life.
Yeah, any of the upper men or any management at all, really. Yeah, should not be making such an outsized percentage of
Oh yeah,
the
like where I work, the difference between management and staff is really not that big. Like management's only making a few dollars more an hour. They're not making like 150,000 managing a house, whereas the staff are all making
Right.
like 30K.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. Yeah, yeah, it's tough, man, because you don't want to regulate shit too much. But yeah, when it gets that fucking crazy, it's like nobody's doing anything that's worth making that amount of money.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
if
like
you're
I
a
made
publicly traded
30,000 a
company,
year.
you want to keep it private, that's fine.
I made 30,000 last year. I still couldn't possibly afford to live in California at 30,000. That's well below the poverty line here, in my opinion. Certainly
Yeah,
couldn't afford rent
no doubt.
anywhere other than my mom's house. But like the management might make 45 or 50, so it's not like they're making a ton
It's
more than
not
I am.
crazy.
Yeah, it's not unreasonable.
Yeah, I hear you. That's kind of nice.
And I'm the overnight, so like the day shift workers are making like 35, where I make 30. They're making about 35, 36.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, it totally makes sense. I'm working part time, so that also is cutting down on it.
Indeed. There's an answer somewhere. I don't really know it for sure, but there's something wrong.
But
Something
like
very,
that kind
very
of pay
wrong.
scale where like I'm working in a nonprofit, of course I'm not making very much money, but if you're working at like a place like Coca-Cola or McDonald's or Target, and you're doing the actual work of like selling things, putting it on the shelves, loading it off of the trucks, whatever, you should be making a fair amount of the money that they're bringing in.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you're
Especially
using your body, and it will cost you a lot by the
Yeah.
end of your life.
Yeah.
The little
Yeah, even
injuries
if you're
add
just
up.
mostly
The
standing.
sleepless nights add up. You know, all those things add up when you work in those places.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, and anybody in management, they're not, they're body.
Well, but
They're raking in.
and they should be
They
making more than the line workers. They have more responsibilities,
Oh
and
yeah.
and more falls on them. But they shouldn't be
Right,
making so
right.
much more that it's insane. Like the workers shouldn't be so low to start with.
Yeah, yeah,
Like the bare
yeah.
minimum
They
you
should
should be making
definitely.
if you're working full time should be above the cost of living by a fair amount.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like say the
Indeed.
cost of living is $40,000 a year, just as a random like number. It's like $40,000 a year is the bare minimum for cost of living. It's like what you could survive off of in that area. If you're working minimum wage at a job and you're working full time, you should be pulling in between 45 and 50K a year. And then your manager, like the one who's like managing above you, should be bringing in like maybe 10K more, and the one above them should be bringing in maybe 15K more than that. You know, it's like it should be pretty reasonable steps.
Yeah, anyone making hundreds of millions, dude.
Yeah. Well,
That's fucking absurd.
and I also think at a certain point you should be guaranteed a certain amount of profit share. Like if the company you're working for is making billions and billions of dollars, the person who just happened to be born into the family that owns that stock shouldn't be taking home all of that money. That's insane. They're not doing any work.
Or even somebody that just happened to have the right action. Fuck.
Yeah.
Because it's weird. Like, how the fuck do people be CEOs with the same education as people that never got it? You know what I mean? Never had the opportunity.
Yeah. Well, and what's integral to a company more? Is it the engineers and the people that design the products, or is it the CEOs? Why are the CEOs making more than the designers and the engineers? That's wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, the ones that actually create the fucking products. Yeah.
Like, there is a certain aspect of you are coordinating a lot of moving parts, but a lot of bureaucracy, especially in those big companies, is totally unnecessary too.
Yeah, there's a fucking ton of bloat, dude. Sure.
Like that's what Elon Musk is going through and cleaning out of the government right now. Everybody's crying and whining and bitching like it's the end of the fucking world. But at the end of the day, like what he's doing is really, really good for everybody. And there's a potential if he can get rid of a lot of these basically worthless people that don't do shit for anybody. He can definitely bring it down to the point where Donald Trump can end up covering the costs of running the government without us paying income tax. Which is
that is the goal, right?
Yeah, like that's the goal, and it's like he can definitely get us to the point where we're not paying income tax, and I'd love to see. Dude, 2 years of no income tax, and then someone else gets in office and says, "Oh, sorry, we're going to have to reintroduce income tax.
Hire them all back.
We're going to have to hire all these people back and get some income tax." I'd love to see if the people are willing to tolerate that, because I don't think they fucking will.
Yeah.
Because income tax is there to fuck the poor people and nothing else. Like, let's be real. Because if you're making $500,000 a year in some cushy fucking job, sitting in a fucking office somewhere, and you got to pay like $200,000 a year in taxes, you're still so far above the cost of living, it's ridiculous. But if you're making like me, like $30,000 a year, and you're paying like $10,000 in taxes, you're fucked. Like,
yeah, and it's like I don't know how many generations it's been, but like it's almost everybody just kind of accepts it. They've been doing it so long. But again, and we looked it up last week, and what is it, in like 1910 or something? I don't know, somewhere around there. Like that's when income tax started. Like it's not like it's been going on the entire fucking time. The entire existence of our country. But we're so many generations in that accept it.
Yeah, if I didn't pay the federal income tax last year, I would have, instead of pulling in $30,000, I would have pulled in about $33,000. And you can't pretend that that's not a massive difference in my quality of life.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking nuts, man. Oh shit, we're way past.
Yep,
Just
yep.
noticed the time.
Yeah, I gotta go see what's going on and put in my order for groceries. Gotta figure out what I
Very
want to
good.
cook next week.
Sounds good. For everybody not listening,